fair that they continue to show their dominance here at the actual World Cup stage.
Brilliant performance. You know that their game plan is always last as long as possible.
Absolutely.
But the fact that they made it through those storm surges, even with them not getting very aggressive, they had 0 elims down to those final few moments. Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy, we have to talk about them for a second as well. The European young duo, they were on the high ground. It was looking good, Ninja, but so many players focusing them, the shockwave grenades as well, and they had no healing left.
It's unfortunate, man, when you have a group full of these players who are literally the best in the world. They know exactly how to win, right? So if they don't have the high ground, they know that whenever there is a moment that they have to shoot the high ground out with rockets, shockwave grenades. I think that's actually what happened. I think someone shockwaved up and knocked them off the high ground.
Yep.
But when you have shield like Zayt and Naf did at the end there, and that high ground, I mean, it's over, man.
What a sigh of relief for those two.
Incredible first game. And we're only just getting started.
We're only just getting started. Remember, 6 games being played today in the duos competition, in which $15 million will be rewarded. Tomorrow, we do it all over again, except with solos. So you want to stay glued to the streams here for the Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Get involved in the conversation. Send to Ninja and I your thoughts after game number 1. Who surprised you? What are you looking forward to in games 2 through 6? For me, other things I noticed, man, you've got to be on your A game. When it comes down to taking note of where you are with the storm surge, those were longer storm surges that have lasted than I've ever seen before.
I've honestly never seen storm surge affect the game so much.
Yep.
Because here we are having 80 people left after the second circle. So, you know what I mean? Like, and these guys, they're not going to let you hit them. You know what I mean? And if you want to put shots on these guys, it's going to be when they're flying in the air, rotating, which you also expose yourself to a sniper shot. You know.
Absolutely.
High risk, high reward, man. Right?
It's
Let's see how these guys change. I wonder if the guys who did get hurt a lot by the storm surge, are they going to make changes in the second game? Are they going to be a little bit more aggressive and trying to deal some damage as they rotate? That's what I want to know.
That's a great way to think of it. I know there were so many people that want to give their thoughts on these games, but over at Unreal Island, we've got our very own Sundown with his thoughts on Game 1.
Thank you so much, Courage and Ninja. And the first match of the duos competition is over in the Victor Royales. Well, experience wins out. We talked about Energy Zayt and Ghost Saf and how they've been playing so long together, and that endgame was a prime example of textbook Zayt and Saf. We're going to re-roll it one more time, and we're going to break down kind of how they were able to keep the control. Now, pay attention right away. You can see on the backside, Saf has one angle while Zayt is going forward, and they're moving back over the tarps they've already established, but the angles they take make sure they're covering everything. They hear the shots below, they're putting the fire down towards them, and Scarlet is able to pick up Mitro, but doesn't have enough to get out. Zayt and Saf, 5 eliminations, Victory Royale, 15 points, showing that their competitive experience, their experience on stage and at major LAN events is winning out right now. They say nerves, what nerves? We might as well be playing at home on our own stations because they are just that good. Match 1 is over. Time to get back over the stage for match 2. Ninja and Courage, take it away.
Thank you very much, Sundown. Great stuff as always there from Unreal Island outside of the venue, enjoying the event themselves. But again, game number 1 in the books. Obviously, so many updates to see exactly where we stack up. In the end, those final moments can be so hectic. So before we hop into game 2, we will have a standings update for you all at home. Who do you think's up top of it right now? Well, guess
Saf
what?
Zayt.
It's Saf and Zayt, but
and Benji, Mr. Savage, man. Just incredibly clutch solo moves and plays.
Both of our predictions.
Both of our predictions. And they're still up there. Guess what? Imagine when they're healthy and when they actually get some good rotation items. I'd love to see how they're going to play in the late game, man.
Placement points so key. You did a great job pointing out Mitro at the end. Not only does he stay alive, not only does he perfectly use his materials and his movement items, but he somehow finds 5 more limbs, putting his team from probably an abysmal game 1 to top 3 in our leaderboards. Again, here are your standings from game number 1. Dubs and Mega, they wind up making it through as well. And that's because of Mega staying alive, too.
Absolutely. Incredibly talented duo, man. Honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing what Aiden can do. And Sean, hopefully they step it up in this next game. Game 2 is about to get on its way, man. Are you ready?
I am ready.
You guys
Ladies
ready?
and gentlemen, in this sold-out arena, are you guys ready for game number 2? Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, yeah, they are. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The battle bus has launched. Game number 2 of the Fortnite World Cup Duo Finals is underway.
Again, I'm just going to keep saying it, the most nerve-wracking part of any competition, but definitely Fortnite for me, is the second you jump out of that bus.
Yep.
Right? Once you hit the ground, once these players hit the ground, they're going to definitely have hopefully less nerves, going to get back into the flow, back into the farming mentality. And man, I'm looking at these llamas on my screen, and I'm just hoping that they find them. There's nothing greater than finding the new upgraded llamas at 350 mats.
Dude, they're insane. And they're everywhere. And look, wait, can we look at the map? Look at the north side. You've got 3 llamas in a very small area.
Llamas.
And many players have gotten better at spotting llamas from very, very far away.
I mean, the one thing I was telling my teammate Malachi, I was like, listen, man, sometimes you just actually have to tell yourself, hey, we should probably look for llamas as we're flying in, because usually you're looking for players who's going to be landing next to you. But if you actually keep an eye out for that adorable pink, purple, and blue llama,
and there's one.
I mean, look, you're just going to get rewarded with shield, rotation. There's shadow bomb storm, campfires, minis. I mean, these are incredibly valuable.
And remember, materials get capped at 500 of each type. So when you get 350, it's done its job for you. You can spend much less time looting and, farming, and much more time looting. And look at Zayt perfectly using the Shadow Bomb Ninja. For players at home who are wondering how he just used it for way more than the 6 seconds it actually lets you use it for, explain a little bit of staying on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, all you have to do is just continue that jump animation. That's going to trigger the double jump. And as long as you don't touch any solid ground, you're going to be able to continue to double bounce back and forth, man. It's an incredible use of the shadow bombs, and you're probably going to see a lot of players do something like that in the late game off of other people's builds, and which is way more difficult to do that off a mountain, by the way.
For sure, as we now take a look.
That storm is far,
side of the map, and this storm is very far. Great point to bring up there. We can see on our side, the zone right now basically gets cut off at Dusty Divot and Neo Tilted, and the rest of the north side of the map are in play. So everyone near the middle and south side will have to move, and you see in the elimination feed very early on, Elevate does get cut down. So a tough start for the duo from 100 Thieves right there, as you've got to wonder if Arkram's still alive. Either way, though, Daedra and M11Z
looks like they have players
down in Loot Lake, in Loot Lake, Lucky Landing, and they do have a duo nearby.
Looks like they're trying to obviously back away while continuing to farm up. Lucky Landing is not really a 4-person landing. When more than two people land here, one of them is going to be leaving a little bit handicapped. And Yu Wang in a fight right now, popping that last big shield, so all of his damage that he will take from now on will be permanent unless he gets an elimination and gets...
And look at how good these stink grenades are right now. Scram and Mexi have lost so much HP off the start of this one just from getting ticks. The spray does come on through. A third party, though, beginning to shoot down on a Yu Wang. So another player putting their attention towards this fight.
Trying to line a side
at Snobby, but KBB does go down. It's now Yu Wang all by himself, and no materials left, Ninja.
He can't even take a wall.
They're really, this is an abysmal position to be in. Yu Wang knows that, trying to fall back to his teammate to maybe sneak a revive, but I just don't see.
A lot of these players really are kind of hesitant. You know what I mean? They don't necessarily want to push. There is a third party now. They don't have a lot of shield.
Are they going to get it off
the
in
right
time?
play?
They're going to push forward.
Yu Wang no shield, and he's going to get the double. He's going to get the double and the revive on KBB. And there was some delicious shockwave grenades that just slid down the ramp.
Yu Wang takes them down. The 4 builds left. I believe there was some help. The shots that came in from that third team getting nearby, which weakened them at first. Yu Wang gets the cleanup on the last one right there. What a swing for the duo. Shot does come in onto Keys, though, as another fight going down just outside the desert side of the map. Keys and Slacks up against 2.
Running out of materials already, and guess what? These guys are at the farthest point of the storm.
Yep.
So this is not, they can't afford this fight, right? The longer this takes, they're not going to be able to get materials. They're going to be burning all the materials in this fight right now. So they're definitely going to need these elims to make up for it.
That was
and look at the knock on Landjock.
And Landjock and Punisher went down early last game as well, and it looks like Landjock will suffer the same fate here.
Upgraded combat shotgun, you know he's going to take that. Punisher trying to make some plays here. Still, now it is a 2-on-1 situation. Just need to play the numbers advantage. And again, Storm is about to start moving, so they're going to have to make some plays sooner rather than later.
No ammunition. Very few builds.
Minimal
no shields. This spells disaster, and Punisher goes down, and there's the frustration in the player camera right there. Slacks and Keys, 2 quick eliminations. But you mentioned they can't afford to do that. It takes so much time in that fight. They've got to go very far still. Now over to Neo Tilted, Clicks and Skeptic in a fight.
Got some shield. doesn't necessarily want to use this mini to only get a 10. And he looks like he's just trying to obviously take some ults, help his teammate out. No, he's getting taken. With the trap kill, he's gonna get the knock. Unbelievable, incredible place. Bad Sniper goes down, and now he's continuing to branch out. When you guys are in fights like this, you always want to do exactly what he's doing right now, which is branch out, continue to build these little 1x1s with pyramids, try to confuse your opponents of where you actually are healing up.
Skeptic just 8 builds left. They're trying to stay alive right now. They do have the number advantage. Clips has time to pop one mini, and it looks like they're going to go for it right now. They've made the conscious decision to try to build out, but no. They back up for a moment.
Finally gets a shotgun.
Yep, shotgun picked up. Grenades now as well. They want to go for the second elimination, and we take the oh my god, we got some trap talk in real life. Did he just take the L in real life? Homie, this is land. This dude's gonna come over. No, I'm just kidding.
40,
but the sticks come on in.
Stinks coming in, 22 health left, campfire down. He has.
Oh, and look who's here.
Third party. Hello.
Look who's here. NA puts up the take the L, and EU says no, no, no. This is the World Cup, baby. I'm gonna show which continent is best. Mitro and Mongrel, full HP, and they storm roll through.
Duel ins for Mitro, still
right there.
Down low. Wow, incredible. Look at that kit. Gold scar, gold combat, heavy shotgun, or I'm sorry, heavy sniper rifle for taking opponents' walls. Look at, they're just stealing and bum rushing, and that's gonna be it.
And there's no shot right there. Skeptic. You saw, hey, putting on a show. I love it. The man does YouTube for a reason. But then also a fantastic player. I think speaks a little bit too soon. Aiden now on your screen. Does knock one. Hasn't finished the elimination yet, so still will gain 50 HP if he can get the full. There it is. Now a 2 versus 1. Aiden and Sean. Look at how weak Sean is, though, Ninja.
Sean has absolutely no health. A little bit of shield. Hopefully we're going to drop some minis here. Aiden being the good team that he is. I'm sure he's calling it out right now. But it is also a 2-on-1, and they don't know.
And they'll be rewarded with shields, with materials. And look, Aiden actually, there was 2 big shields.
Yeah.
Aiden's got the full health.
That's incredible, man.
You see the stats so far this game. Aiden has done 434 damage, has taken 312, and he's near backup to max health. I know Aiden is a crowd favorite here. Every time the camera goes on, there's a big cheer from this sold-out arena.
For those of you guys who do not know, the Storm Circle is about to update right now. We just saw our second one, forcing everyone out of the north and east side of the map. And also, guess what? Every single llama was found.
Yep.
All 5 llamas have been found, so we have some probably high material players right now.
A lot of rotation.
Oh my god, I can't even. Freaking out, man.
You're getting into it.
Looks like a lot of people.
I love it.
Yeah, we're looking around. They're all gone. There's only 1 airdrop that's left, which means a lot of players. It's very difficult, man. Going for airdrops is super risky, but it looks like everyone at the World Cup here is taking their chances.
And what's kind of funny with this zone, as you see it on the bottom right side of your map, the slipstreams are there to basically help everyone get from the southeast, east, and south side of the map easily into this zone. So if you kind of sit outside and wait for players to move in from the slipstream, you might be able to deal a lot of damage. And remember, you might think, oh, well, there's no way you're going to get that elimination. I'm not even talking about that. I'm saying free damage for Storm Surge when that comes into play, because it is going to happen very, very soon here. We're about a minute away.
It literally looks like we've been watching that action. But there's 84 teams, 84 players left still.
Yep. I guess that's a testament to our observers backstage. Great stuff to them. Sizlucky does take a bit of storm damage right there. Chug splashes in the inventory. And Ninja,
like a dolphin.
Chug splashes have came into this game and they've completely taken competitive by storm. Are they the best healing item currently in this meta?
I think that, there's a lot of items that get added where, not everyone is all unanimous about it, right? Some people do not like it. But let me tell you something about these splashes. I don't think I've ever seen more positive, reactions from an item being added than when chug splashes were added. I mean, nothing but positivity on Twitter. It was absolutely incredible. I woke up to some delightful posts.
Delightful
Just some delightful posts.
Yeah.
Those of you guys who don't know what they are, each one splash, they come in packs of 2. You can stack up to 6. They give you 20 health or shield, whatever you're missing.
And they're instant. You throw them down the ground, and they can be used to heal you and your teammates around you, as well as, if you really want to be a troll, your enemies that you've knocked. Here are Mongrel and Mitro in the zone, and you talked about this inventory. I'm going to come out and say it right now. There is no way someone in this lobby has a better inventory than what Mongrel has right now. And when you come into this, they were already in your top 3. So they're in a position right now, Ninja, where they have a pop-off performance right here. With only 6 games being played after the first 2, they could be your leaders.
Absolutely. I mean, they were only 2 points away from first, man,
Yep.
and they didn't even win the game. And Mongrel went down early before placement points were even rewarded. So, Sean and Aiden in another fight with Quentin and his squad. Sean trying to take some walls here. And he's out of light ammo.
Out of materials.
And
That's
he's
a
out
big
of
thing.
materials. So he can't even spray right now.
Yep.
The only thing you can do is spray an AR, and that's not really going to be effective against top players if you're actually trying to take walls.
Well, the player tried to drop a trap down low to bait Aiden, but Aiden does not fall for it. The seasoned veteran trying to cover his back. Players beginning to spray on through. Stink bombs dropping, and there's one of limb. Another shot comes in.
Gets his shield. That's why he went for the thirst.
Yep.
And grabbed the mats. 365 mats now. He is, or more than that. He's got.
Gotta get out of the stinks. They've got to get out of the stinks.
So weak 2
Look at how weak they are.
And don't they can get both Sean and Aiden. They gotta, I think that's exactly what they should. They split up. Now he's trying to take it one by one. He's getting pushed by more than one person.
Quick reaction from Aiden, but this looks like it could spell disaster for the duo. Damage dealt 639. He does go down, though the quick edit comes
Making
through.
plays. Now it's up to Sean. Can he clutch it? Only 2 HP. Got some minis. Picked up some ammunition now for his minigun. But looks like Spades is just way more healthy. And obviously there's 3 other players who are around him as well. So what's he going to do? Looks like he's going for high ground. Smart play, but he's out of mats.
Oh, no,
He's got wood.
He's got wood. He's good. Yeah, we both freaked out.
Going to put himself in a nice pyramid. For those of you guys who don't know, when a brick or a metal pyramid,
Big thing to note. Look at his zone.
threshold.
He has to push.
Yeah, he's gotta
That's it. He has to push. He has 52 health, but the zone is right at his back. He's got to go. Don't even worry about Storm Surge. They're
getting beat
446
from the side
above.
as well. Has a shot,
This
and
is
he's
done.
going to be taken down. I mean, that's just the worst position to be in any competitive game, is being weak, low materials, low health, and being forced to push in.
Every time you watch Aiden and whoever he's playing with, they are always the most aggressive, it appears.
Yes.
If you remember the famous moment, I think for me, arguably one of the most famous moments in Fortnite competitive history was the Nick Merckx and Aiden duo where they made it into the big bonus about a year ago.
Oh my God.
And a crowd popped off. Well, they're always scrappy getting into eliminations. Here, the stat popped up for a second. Aiden and Sean had done 680 damage in the game. The average in the lobby was 80. They were 600 above in this lobby already. Unfortunately, though, when you fight that much, there's a higher chance of you going down. Speaking of potential fights, here's Sizlucky and Brush, who we saw earlier on in the last game at Fatal Fields, struggle to stay alive. Now in another tough spot as they're both low on shields and low on health.
Decent rotation items, 2 shadows on the launch pad. Again, I always want to keep stressing that, because if you guys have some launch pads, even one shadow can get you into another zone, right?
Yep.
Which is going to hopefully get you those placement points that you need, or even put you in a position to get some eliminations. But yeah, as you said with Aiden, we mentioned earlier, are people going to change how they're going to play, right? Are they going to do anything different here at the World Cup? And guess what? I'm pretty sure we can say that Aiden's squad is not doing anything different. They're being incredibly aggressive. They're putting the damage down. And unfortunately, there were just too many players who took advantage that they were weak.
And that was the top 5 leading into this game. You see it updated again right there on your screen of where the leaderboard is at the moment. Mitro and Mongrel staying alive,
In a great spot.
holding this pyramid edit. And for people at home who might not know, he's not exposed right there, right, Ninja? He's peeking through his build.
Correct. As you guys are moving through a pyramid, you hit edit on it, you cannot be seen, right? And you can also see through it. It's a very amazing feature. Fortnite Battle Royale.
Fortnite Battle Royale, the ultimate Battle Royale experience.
Ultimate Battle Royale experience, man. Blue T is in the storm, taking damage, a lot of damage, and he's still going to be rotating. Road taking damage as well. Thomas going to have to make some plays. And there goes Road. He actually just got knocked. 66 players remain. And this storm is kind of moving a little bit away from Pleasant Park. But it's once you have a high ground mountain in play, I mean, I'm wondering if it's going to go north.
There's 3 high ground mountains in play. And
Really mixes it up late
and
game.
a drone ship that people can wind up going on top of, and those are brilliant to use.
Oh, absolutely. If you guys can get up on top of those, guess what? You have ultimate high ground on the map without having to place any mats.
Yep.
It's incredible. You can't get sniped from above, and you can deal as much damage as you want. Also, it's incredibly difficult to shoot players that are up there.
100%.
But it's important to know that after the 5th circle closes in, those air vents will stop working. So if you don't have any rotation to get down, glider, redeploy,
Yikes.
anything like that, yikes. That's a massive yikes. So you have to pray that someone puts a launch pad down underneath it somehow.
Yep.
And go for it.
Yeah,
Just risk it all.
Most of these teams will mess that up. Now, we talked about our Game 1 winners, the team that took home the Victory Royale, which is, again, 10 placement points, the max you can get for placement in these games. It was Zayt and Saf, and they're currently set on up in this zone for the moment.
Did they just get the zone as well? Are they the... Are they the yellow team in the mini-map? I mean, they're close enough for sure, I can see. I think, no, actually, no, they got to rotate a little bit, but look, they got 4 shockwave grenades.
Yep. And they'll be all right. They'll be able to make it happen.
Airwax and Peacock, man. Here we go. They have to rotate the farthest. Look how many stack players are on this side of the lobby right now, and they're all going to have to move very soon.
Yeah. Arkram and Falconer have a tough rotation ahead. Slacks and Keys. Watch them fight a little bit earlier on against Landjock and
to pop
Punisher.
those heals till his teammate comes in.
Yep.
No, he missed one.
Did miss it. No, his teammate's full. Teammate's full. Don't
Okay,
worry.
it doesn't matter. Geez.
Teammate's full.
You know, I was playing with Myth the other day, and he was using a lot of chug splashes without me, so I'm really sensitive on it.
We'll
really sensitive.
We'll let you and Myth handle that one. As again, it seems like some tension there, but we continue to move on in this fight. This is game 2 of 6, folks. The matches will be going on throughout the day. 62 players left in this one, 35 duos. And you see Arkram and Falconer. It looks like they did a duo shockwave to try to fly across the map together.
Good teamwork.
As the frantic rotation begins to move on in, more Storm Surge will soon begin to come into play as well.
Jack, I have a question for you, man.
Yes.
Once these circles start closing in, they're so small. What do you think is the play? To rotate in right away once it's revealed if you're far out, or to wait and be the last team?
For me, it completely comes down to what you have left, what you have in your inventory, where you are at, the leaderboards as well. If I'm in a position where I know I need to make some ground up on the leaderboards, I want to rotate early and try to begin to spray back on the opponents to get some free eliminations.
Yes.
If you get the zone on you, you begin to just build on up and get that height so you can spray on down as well. In this one, though, again, all comes down to rotation. If you have nothing to rotate with and you're far away, I think you play late and hope someone else drops a launch pad near you and use that community pad to your advantage.
Yeah, and we're looking over here at Yuang, 3 eliminations, sitting here with some very good materials, and it's definitely a very delicious loadout. Anyone with a heavy sniper and a blue SMG in a combat.
And remember, he started the game in Snobby Shores with that clutch when KBB did go down, so they're still in this one because
he still has that beautiful blue combat where he clutched it with, man.
Yes, he does, and all the materials he could ever ask for it. Nearly 100 builds in this one.
You see they're marking right now. I think they have a double heavy sniper combo.
They're either marking double heavy or they're saying, focus this, the zone's closing there.
We're going to find out soon enough. It literally looks like he's marking exactly. He's trying to look and see. Yep.
Oh, they do a double heavy sniper. And Ninja called it. The man knows. They see one. And
you guys saw the pyramid. This is exactly what Jack talked about earlier. You need 2 walls, 2 layers protecting you from one of those walls so that double sniper will not take you down.
But they've got the tools, the key to open all doors, as I put it. And this zone, Ninja,
it just moved over a mountain, man.
It just moved onto the side of the mountain, so high ground will be in play. But at the same time, Ninja, half of the low ground still in play, so it's not as bad a position for the low ground players. Here's a look at Mongrel and Mitro. Remember, Mongrel did go down early on in the last game. He's got to back on up because he's burning through materials very, very quickly. They're far above this Storm Surge, so they're good for the moment, and there's the replenish from his teammate in Mitro. 64 total builds left.
Always see them doing this. They always split half and half match with one another, and then they go and collect the others, and it's just a perfect way of making sure that you guys have equal material.
Look at how weak Sap is. Sap just sneaking up through with that Shadow Bomb. The spray coming in from Mongrel. Stink Bomb is hit as well. Everyone focusing these players on the outside. They've got the minigun firing too. The lobby now picking up quick as we move into our pit zone.
The storm is closing in, and that's going to be forcing everyone to get into where the safe zone is right now. It is moving in towards Pleasant Park. Guys, this is absolutely insane. 51 players still remain, by the way, in a circle this small. They're just trying to get as many limbs possible as people are rotating in.
Mitro on the bottom right of your screen with that minigun has 631 bullets. Just sprayed down with Mongrel in a fight. Gets 1 player weak, but does have to back on him.
Didn't get the clutch. Someone else stole the kill from him.
Mitro gets chucked as well.
Still have a launch pad, but again, when you're in a situation like this, low ground, they're getting sprayed with nothing but grenade launcher shots and frag grenades, and they're both going to be eliminated, and Mongrel also, Airwax just went down as well.
And you see Cease in the elimination feed. Does look like, remember early on, Elevate did go down there.
That loot looks so delicious.
They go for it. Zane Sap, do they do it?
Do you go for it? There's a launch pad there and so many materials.
This is game-changing loot right now. They've got the builds to go for it if they want.
They're going to do it.
They're going to make the play.
A gold combat shotgun too, man.
Zane and Sap uncontested. That's one of those risk versus reward plays that can help set them up for 2 victory royales in a row.
Mongrel and Mitro's loot too, man.
Oh, that was
making a
and
statement.
we know that was juicy loot.
They're making a statement saying, listen, we're from NA, we're here to play. taken out the Evil. They didn't know they took him out, but they're definitely taking their loot.
Yeah, for sure, as they are still above this
So
storm
great
surge.
rotation items too. They both each have a launch pad. Both have 2 shotgun grenades, and they're gonna ghost. He didn't get it though. They try to get both at the same time. Gonna be flying, and this is it. Another massive rotation gonna be taken to the center of Pleasant Park. They're 167 damage above the threshold, so they're looking pretty good right now. The question is, are they going to keep mid-ground, go for low ground, high ground? What's the play?
They didn't get the full launch pad. He
Good.
might have to use his own. Yes, he
Another
does
one.
again, and that actually works out. He hits his head on something, which takes him down from having to, fly all the way up and get beamed. As they're going to challenge high ground right now. Zayt and Saf looking to do what many would think was impossible, which is win back-to-back games in the stacked lobby. Just saw Falconer in the feed as well. Arkram with an elimination too. 19 duos left as we're moving towards the placement points, Ninja, and these duos know exactly that. 3 points if you make it in the top 15, which could be the difference between first and dead last.
What are they going to do? Are they going to prioritize rotation in and not taking damage, or are they going to try to play it a little risky and go for the limbs? If you're going to be shooting, going for the limbs, definitely open up to a lot of spray, shotgun shots, AR shots, someone suddenly taking the high ground on you. So it all depends on how their play style is going to unfold, man.
Many more duos remaining in this game, unlike the last one. Zayt with another elimination right there on a KBB. You got Snappy and Red Rush on the high ground, and Saf
Over the play, the high ground play.
goes to the high ground. Take, will he get it?
He's going to get it. He has it.
Zayt's got high ground. Zayt has high ground as they go to try to push for 2 victory royales in a row. Saf is there as well, but Snappy just appeared right behind Saf and shotgunned him down right there.
Zayt right now is going to have to concede to the high ground, giving it to Snappy. And he's just going to have to stay alive as long as possible, try to get some placement points. He is obviously a talented player, top player. He can definitely make something happen, and I'm interested to see what he's going to do.
Cease has been by himself since the first moment of this game when Elevate went down at 98 players remaining, and he's somehow still alive. There goes Mega. You've got Darrox and Item on the low ground. Vorwin getting chopped down as well. Zayt with about 100 HP. Uh-oh. Here comes Vinny and Zexro. They're trying to challenge for the high ground.
Keys right now being held in the storm with 5 elims. He's going to be eliminated from the back. Zayt taken down as well. Snappy still with the high ground. Zex and Vinny and TSM crew looking good, and they're going to take it. They just took high ground. Snappy gave it to him.
And they just got the high ground. Great use of the shockwave as well. Vinny as well as Zexro on hype for the moment. 5 eliminations so far. They're putting their names in the hat for potential victory royale in this game.
They go down, right? They want those limbs.
Vorwin now with eliminations back to back. 4 players left in this one. Zexro and Vinny spraying from the high ground. It's a 2 versus 1. The player right on the edge of the zone. The shockwave into the air. And he's going to drop on down to hype for the moment. The spray coming on in. It's not enough. Zexro and Vinny.
TSM takes game 2 with style. Both alive. You love to see it.
The victory royale and 7 eliminations.
Look at that.
Vinny's hyped and Zexro looks like
He was
they
stunned.
forgot his fries on a fast food order. Why am I thinking about food?
Oh my, Jack, it's pretty expected at this point. But God,
It's on brand.
2 NA teams have taken game 1 and game 2, and honestly, I think that we can all say that the teams hyped up the most have been easy. Guess what? Mongrel and Mitro, man, they've also been performing well. They still have so many points from eliminations.
Yep.
Oh man, what a great shotgun shot. They were perfectly in sync. They're even jumping and shotgunning at the same time. Vinny, pop off, man. You love the pop off.
So hyped. Zexro's about to start cranking 90s or default dancing in the
Looks
lobby.
like he's trying to talk about literally what are they going to do in the next game.
Yeah.
Like that's what that focus is. That reminds me, I've been in this situation before. He grabbed his hand and shook it for himself, man. That's a top teammate, man. Great synergy.
What a start to today's competition. The energy in here is insane. I am looking around and there are thousands and thousands of people filling up the Arthur Ashe Stadium live from New York City. Again, my name Jack Courage Dunlop, joined by Tyler Ninja Blevins for what is the first ever Fortnite World Cup Finals. $30 million on the line this weekend. Millions will be tuning on in from across the world. There's so many ways to watch, and we're just 1/3 of the way done with today's action, and it's already been fantastic.
I don't even want it to end, man. I could be here all night. These games are incredible.
Yep.
And just listen, if you guys are watching at home, you guys want to be here, right? You guys want to be competing. Take notes.
Yeah.
Watch these players. Watch how they build. Watch the fights that they take, the way they rotate. And we'll see you guys here next year, man.
Well, guess what? Game number 2 ended with style with the North American duo of Vinny and Zexro taking it there on the floor with none other than Jordan Fisher.
Thank you so much, Courage. I appreciate that. NA showing up and taking care of business. Games 1 and 2, Vinny and Zexro with a fantastic in, both together, which is an incredible thing, right? Walk me through the just in-game for you guys.
So the comp's kind of hectic because of all the noise, but we're just really good at playing together. Like, we're the longest duo that have played together, so yeah, we just know how to.
Great. Fantastic work, guys. Back to you, Ninja and Courage. JD!
Thank you so much, Jordan. The duo of Vinny and Zexro, you know, they've always been known as being so aggressive.
Yeah.
From all the times we've seen them in these competitive tournaments. While they might be some younger players, they've definitely been around the block here in competitive Fortnite.
Again, you just see them, just like a lot of other talent here, always at the top of the duo qualifiers every single week. Even though they already qualified, they continue to keep playing, and practicing. Guess what? They just took the game number 2. You got to be pumped right now, man. Once you win one of these games, you can't let up, though. Again, and that's why I love that energy. Zex was immediately just, I felt like he was just talking about, what are we going to do next? Hey, man, good job. We won that. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Right? How are we going to change? Maybe even do better somehow. Get more limbs in Game 3.
No, for sure. And they know that. They're not going to take their foot off the gas pedal. Folks, we have our standings after game number 2. Where are things playing on out? It is still Zayt and Sap at the top. Dubs and Mega at 18 points in second. Zexro and Vinny, with that performance, go from 0 points up to 17, Ninja. And that is the beauty of how this plays on out. Anyone can have a pop-off game and come right back. Mongrel and Mitro still in your top 5, as well as Serpent, Hype, Darox, Item, Forwin, and Tux, Snappy, and Red Rush all there. While Zayt and Sap do have a nice little lead right now, nobody is safe from the rest of this lobby. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean, just take a look at the points, Courage. You got 11 points, right? Benji and Mr. Savage, they fell out of the top 10. But look at that. Storm and Epic Whale, 12 points. Daedra, M11Z, 12 points, 12 points, 12 points. All they need is 2 or 3 points, 2 or 3 extra eliminations right there, and boom, they'll move up 6 places.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's still anyone's game, all right? 2 pop-off games, 1 pop-off game, boom, you're already in the top 5.
Remember, if you get 50th place or 11th place, from that whole time in between, you win $100,000 as a duo.
Still.
But if you go from 10th up to 1st, it jumps all the way to $3 million. So everyone, eyes on that top prize. We are just 1/3 of the way through the action today, but I know we've had a lot of fun up here, Ninja. What an absolute blast. Ladies and gentlemen,
Happy to be here, man.
Can we give a round of applause to Ninja for hopping in for some guest casting? What a great job.
Thank you, man.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Pleasure to be here.
That's going to do it for us for now up here on the caster desk, but I know Zeke is down on the floor with some notes for you all.
Thank you guys so much, man. What an awesome first 2 set of games from Sap and Zay locking down the lobby to Zexro and Vinny just coming in super clutch. And of course, guys, you've been here. We got to see Ninja. He got to go ahead and commentate some games. So what I want to know from you is, have you guys had a good time? Have you enjoyed it? If so, let's just let me hear you. You know, that was so-so. Let's pretend I didn't ask. Have you guys been enjoying yourselves? That's what I'm talking about. Obviously, we've got quite a bit more games left to get through, but, you know, if you've been watching for a long time, you know I'm a big fan of everyone that loves Fortnite. It's all about bringing people together. And I like to say Fortnite fam. That's my thing. That's what I do. And, you know, there's actually a lot of people from around the world that have come here to compete, to watch, to be part of all of this. And I thought, what better way to give back to you guys than to teach you how to say Fortnite from all around the world. So in just a moment, we're going to take a look at a video, and I can't wait because this is actually the first time I'm seeing this. A lot of work went into making this happen, so I can't wait for us to watch this together. Let's take a look.
Hello Fortnite fam.
포트나이트 팬 여러분들 안녕하세요.
Привет, Fortnite TV.
Jag har territorio.
Vad kära Fortnite-folk.
Jag är fan du Fortnite.
What's up, Fortnite fam?
포트나이트 팬 여러분들 안녕하세요.
What's up Fortnite fam?
Hey, John, Fortnite fan.
What's up Fortnite fam?
Was geht, Fortnite-Freunde?
冠军等着我们。
What's up Fortnite fam?
Yo, what's up Fortnite fam? Are you trying to do the floss?
Sorry, I'm texting.
What's up Fortnite fam?
What's up, Fortnite fam?
What's up Fortnite fam?
What's up, Fortnite fam? E aí, galera do Fortnite?
What's up, Fortnite fam?
G'day, Fortnite fam.
Bonjour, comment ça va les fans de Fortnite?
G'day, Fortnite fam.
Cheer Fortnite fam. What up, boys?
That was even better than I thought it would be. Just embrace it. We, as a collective, are the Fortnite fam. Get used to it. We're here to stay. Now, guys, you know, there's a few more things I want to take a look at before we hop back into the next game. One of the things to kind of do if you're here or if you're at home, you've been watching, Ninja actually had a pretty dope hoodie, a World Cup kind of exclusive hoodie. Would you like one of those things? Would you like one of the crazy World Cup shirts that we have? You can totally get your hands on one. Head on over, retailroad.com. Get yourself a nice shirt. We've got some hoodies. We've got hats. We've even got the little drone that's the battle bus. It looks amazing. The top balloon is actually the drone, so you've got the bus that's literally flying around. You best believe I'm going to pick one up and mess around with my family. They're not ready for it. But there you go. There's some on your screen. Also, that Drift shirt, by far, my favorite piece of merchandise ever. Those of you that really do know me, you know I love Drift. He's easily my favorite character. But just some cool things. If you're looking to get some World Cup exclusive thing, go ahead and take a look. Now, for those of you who have also been watching kind of all 10-week qualifiers long, you know we love Golden Boy. And there's actually one thing specifically he was kind of telling people as we were going through interviews. And that was, hey, when we get to New York, you're going to be in my hometown. Let's catch up and get a slice of pizza. Now, I know you're thinking, wait a minute, Zeke, what about like everyone else? Why is it just Golden Boy? Well, he's a Golden Boy and he's selfish and he wanted the pizza all for himself. Get called out. That's right. Now the world knows. But a few of those players actually took us up on the offer. They went out for some pizza. They had a night on the town. So let's take a look together and check this out.
New York City. We got the Statue of Liberty, Central Park, the Empire State Building, and the first ever Fortnite World Cup Finals. I couldn't be more excited about the greatest Fortnite players from around the world coming to my hometown to duke it out. But before the action started, I took World Cup qualifying players Aiden and Chinkin out to show them the Big Apple, starting with PC Gaming Cafe, Waypoint.
What's up, boys? Hey. Welcome to Waypoint. Good to see you. Good to meet you. Good to meet you. All right, fellas, let's go and grab a drink.
Let's go.
All right. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here in my hometown, New York City. Thoughts on it so far? Chinkin, we'll start with you.
Hot.
Okay.
A lot of people.
Yeah. Hot and a lot of people. I'm sorry, but also welcome to New York. That's kind of the way it is out here. Where are you from in Austria?
Austria, like I'm near Salzburg.
And the population?
40K.
I think it was like 40,000 people in the train that you were in on the way here.
Probably.
Yeah, so,
so many people.
Now I want to talk about the competition at hand because obviously this is going to be the biggest opportunity, I would imagine, of your lives. You're going to be playing in front of a massive crowd. Is there a way as a player that you prepare for that?
I don't think like there's a way to like prepare for it.
Yeah.
But try to like calm down, not get like nervous, not get shaky and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we should be good. Like.
It's still crazy having like a live crowd.
Yeah.
I try not to take tournaments like too seriously. If I play relaxed, I feel like I do better. I remember when everyone's like, this guy looks like he's just chilling on his couch at home, the casters, and it was like, I was just relaxed, you know, and I feel like I played better.
Okay, so gentlemen, we're gonna be heading off to some different sites around the city. We're gonna go to Washington Square Park, so let's go and check it out. All right, so now here we are in Washington Square Park, gentlemen. And I love the fact that we've conveniently set this up. I don't know what these pieces would symbolize.
I don't know.
I'm not too sure. Is it like king or queen? While we have this here, let's talk about competition. You guys are potentially going to be facing off against each other. Have you thought about that now?
I don't know. I just don't want to feel the L2 spam like.
Oh, you don't want to feel the L2 snap?
I've watched them play a little bit. Him and Stompy, they're very I've seen them play aggro before. It's pretty scary. So if you have chemistry where you can play without even talking, you guys know what you're gonna do. That's a team like that's gonna win. So
what you guys are going to experience this weekend, this is the first Fortnite World Cup. You're going to be playing for millions of dollars potentially. Has that even set with you guys yet?
Even if it's not me, I'm thinking there's going to be millionaires after this tournament. There's going to be millionaires.
Life-changing money.
I try not to be, I'm not greedy about it or anything. It's really nice to see people that nobody know about and they could just blow up off of this.
All right, I'm going to dive more into that, but I think it's time to get a slice of pizza. Take you out for a good pizza. We'll get some pizza. To give everyone pizza. Yeah, I'm gonna show up with 2 giant boxes of pizza. Pizza. Say I won't, Paula. Say I won't. And I kept telling people, hey, I want to get a slice of pizza with you. You know, all the players, and they all ignored me. You know? So thank you guys so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. Obviously, this has been an incredible journey for you all. You're now on the precipice of one of the biggest events in the history of all competitive gaming.
I'm happy that it was a fair chance for everybody, you know, open qualifiers.
Yeah.
You could have no exposure, but if you're good, you get in the tournament. So I'm just really thankful to be here, and I'm going to enjoy my time here.
Yeah, we just try to make our fans happy. I'm really looking forward to play on the stage in front of 100,000 people.
Do you feel like the fans and how they've been supporting you all on this road to this, do you feel like that adds a little bit to this pressure?
Honestly, it gives just more support for me. I feel more happy to be here when there's all these people, whether they're rooting for me or other players. Fortnite's grown so much, and I just can't wait to see all the crowd, and I know it's gonna get bigger and bigger every event, so.
Fellas, best of luck at the Fortnite World Cup this weekend. Seriously, nothing but the best for you, but we're in the thick of things here in New York. So I think we got to get some more pizza. You guys down? All right, let's do it.
New York's got everything, and this weekend, most importantly, it's got the Fortnite World Cup. Now that these two have had their slice, let's see how they handle the competition.
Good guy, golden boy. You gotta love him. You can't not. He's just the best, and it's really cool that he got to go out, hang out with Aiden, get some pizza, and, just tour New York. You love to see it. You love to see it. Now, guys, there is actually a dynamic duo that we want to talk to. We actually have Jordan Fisher standing by. He's going to be chatting with Nix and PF Zin. These guys qualified back from the Brazilian region, and they've got some things to say. So, Jordan, let's go over to you.
Thank you, my friend. I've got Nix and PF Zin here. Nix, you have been absolutely dominating in the last few weeks, especially where the solos and the duos are concerned, being the first Brazilian player to qualify for the World Cup. Can you talk to me a little bit about the dynamic that the two of you share as partners?
Nix, você estava dominando nas últimas semanas, principalmente para os qualifiers da World Cup. Você pode falar um pouco sobre a dinâmica de vocês?
Eu e o PFzinho costuma jogar bem agressivo e tentar pegar o máximo de eliminações possível.
PFZ and I, we try to play as aggressively as possible and get as many eliminations as we can.
As you should in the name of Battle Royale, right? Now, PF Zin, you seem to balance out the fiery kind of loose cannon nature of Nix, who is obviously a dominant player, kind of helping him set up for a solid end-game. What's it been like to work with such a young and fiery player like Nix?
PFzinho, você parece que você consegue contrabalançar o estilo bem incendiante do Nix. Então, como é que é isso para você fazer esse lado mais balanceado da dupla?
Basicamente, eu tenho uma role de suporte, então eu meio que fico nas backlines e ele vai na frente. Quando a gente tem o high ground, por exemplo, ele tem a função de ficar embaixo matando todo mundo e eu controlando o high ground. Basicamente é um lado mais estratégico, enquanto ele é o lado mais agressivo.
Basically, I have more of a support role. Whenever we're in high ground, I'm just more in the background supporting him. Like he has a more aggressive role.
Setting him up.
Yeah.
To fire the loose cannon at the end. It reminds me of the very W key in a West that I play on all the time, and that has really, just got me cranking my 90s on a regular basis. You know about that courage, right? Am I right? Back to you.
Whoa, whoa. Jordan, it's back to me. Come on, courage. He's just found the chicken parmesan. Someone whispered the word and he went running. You just see it. Also, big shout out to Nix and PFZen. I actually chatted with Nix very quickly. He walked up and was like, "Hi, I'm Nix." And I'm thinking, this guy knows how to talk. So I talked a bunch of stuff, told him how much I loved him. Turns out he didn't understand any of it. So I had to get a translator and tell him that I love him. But that's how things go. Now, of course, guys, I know what you want. You want more games. We have 4 more on deck. So I think for now, we're going to send it back up to Golden Boy and Monster. They're going to get us into these games. So how's CJ Mike Realm? Play us in.
All right, huge shout out to DJ Mike Realm, spinning the 1s and 2s here at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Golden Boy alongside Master D-Face, Boricua Boys back at it again, looking to bring you the fun as we have games 3 and 4 on deck. And so far, this has been one of the most exciting events I've ever been to. That game 1 was ridiculous. Game 2 did not disappoint as well, Monster.
No, it didn't. I thought for a second there we're going to see back-to-back performances from Zay and Sap. And I mean, we honestly did. Everyone that was in the top 10 contestant, even Miz and Deidre, they were performing. We saw them cut it all the way through. And it's that level of consistency that's going to cut the difference in making it all the way through the top 10 and being a World Cup winner.
What I've loved seeing is that standings page, top 10. International through and through. You got the Japanese players popping off, European players popping off, players from New Zealand. Everyone's putting in every little bit they can. But folks, it's now time for game number 3. The players are all loaded up in the battle bus, and we are about to take off. Let's see who's going to get that much closer to raising the trophy and being your Fortnite World Champions of Duos. Here we go.
Keep it going, Golden Boy, because we are jumping into game 3 as these cameras populate. Your favorite competitors are here. They've made it this far. It's the duo competition. If you were nervous before, hopefully they kicked the bucket over this little break here, and they're back, and they're recuperating.
I know I practically kicked the bucket after Vinny and Zetro won game 2, man. I was feeling it, man. It was nuts. And there they are on your screen. So the drop for the bus here, it's going to be a north to south one going right over that ice biome. It's going to cut pretty much center of the map there. And Vinny and Zextro, I'm very happy that they're performing this well, Monster. This is a duo that had so much success. Even going into the World Cup qualifiers, we all were like, yeah, this is a duo that definitely should make it. This is a duo that, hey, they could even win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then tragedy struck as Zextro had a few problems with you know, arthritis and different things with his hands. And I'm make sure I'm getting that right. And I'm just bummed out about that. Good to see them here showing up, man. That's huge.
I mean, that's what you expect of our competitive veterans, specifically Zextro, Vinny. They go back to as many of the LAN tournaments that we've seen, as does Zay and Sap. But anyways, look, in here we have UN KBB. He's going to take down Mexi. Is Scram close by? Is he close enough? And this is a battle going down in Snobby Shores. So off the rip here, we have players getting dropped. That's actually going to be our first elimination. Lucky for us to catch that one. But there's shots coming in from the Viking Island right up above. And he just kind of turns the corner, sweeps him up, catches that full elim there. So that's his now. We got a little toe-to-toe action here, Golden Boy.
Very rough situation to be in here, but Zextro now looking to engage in this one. Potentially here is going to have... We're going to go over to his POV now. Kind of get, it's a little wild, man. It's like just getting the bearings all together here, I think, for the players as well. That moment where they can just have that conversation. What are they going to do? How are they going to just implement their strategy going into the next game? What is that strategy going to be? Do you mix it up? Do you change your drop spots? These are things that are going to be so important for these players. The time that they can take to just communicate with one another. Now, Scram looking to be potentially in a world of hurt here. We heard from Nix, PFZen earlier on. This is the Brazilian duo. I don't think they know that. Yes, Scram, they're going to be on the hunt for him, so they know that he's around here. They're just trying to sniff him out.
Yeah, and if you were in the players' lounge, you could feel the tension, specifically when we brought up the Brazilian duos, the Brazilian players. These guys qualified, and they qualified with heavy elimination. Nyx especially being one of our only players to like literally qualify as hard as you can in the, for the weekend.
He was at it each and every week. You constantly saw him at the top every single time. It was so impressive, and also qualified for solo, so we'll be seeing Nyx tomorrow. And then you got Scram. He's got 2 eliminations, but he's just hiding this one out. He hears them making all that ruckus, all the noise around him, and Scram just does not want to give up his position. Perhaps he grabbed his teammate's reboot card. He's maybe looking for that play. But Nyx and PF Zin, they have to have an idea of where he's going to be located here.
Yeah, he does not want to give up his position here. He's actually just hiding in the basement right now, hoping that these guys just kind of blow by like dust in the wind right here. As Nyx and PF Zin, they think it's clear. They think it's all good because they came in and they just wrapped up one of the other players. They actually didn't initiate the battle against Mexi and Scram here. So Scram might just get lucky and be able to kind of sneak on by as he hears this powerhouse duo, this Brazilian duo, kind of loot their way through and make their way to the zone soon.
And loot they definitely will, because they're getting a lot of resources out of this. Scram over in the distance. He's going to be out of there, but now we're making our way over to the action. It's happening with 7SSK7. Got Spades and Crims now looking to push on for this fight here, potentially. Got some shots going off. Crims is going to play that overlook position, getting challenged there, and trying to use that advantage from the download, a little bit of that right hand, right? Just see if you can get a peek in there. Does get tagged up, Crims. Guy does back away there, does manage to build out. And Spades is going to force him out. There you go. So they're just right now playing for that positioning, and I like the fact that they're using these, the natural high grounds, right? Get to the top, hold it down. Don't really focus too much on just trying to get in their face quite yet. Give yourself that moment of opportunity and really get a lay of the land, and then going for the engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. The best duos will try their best to isolate their opponents, really force them into, very weird situations like this, force the 1v1s, and hopefully get those free shots and then pursue the push here. So again, look at how now they're split up again. So Spades and Crims are doing a great job here pressuring and isolating their opponents right now. And so far, they're definitely dictating the pace of battle here.
Yeah,
that's what they want to continue to do.
They're suffocating them. Plain and simple, right? Not let them get any kind of movement there. I mean, Jamside and 7SSK7, they're having a conversation of what the play is. What is the movement going to be? But Crims and Spades are not going to allow them that opportunity to breathe. That's going to be the down there. Crims managing to knock down Jamside. He's looking for 7SSK7 around the corner, and that's going to be the elimination registered. Both players are going to be out of there. And a big win there for Crimson Spades.
What a clean push right there. Crimson Spades have so much to prove here, because when they qualified, they were kind of looked down on, like, wait a second, was it luck? Was it not? No, they're here to show it off and show why they're at the World Cup Finals. But now, hopping back with Miz and Daedra, we saw them have a great game one, came out top 10, and they're still in the running. They're in about the top 10 right now as well, based off of eliminations. Not necessarily picking up too many placement points. They're heavily dependent on just piping up these players at these points of interest. And looks like Lucky Landers is theirs right now.
And they'll have that, but let's see. Miz and Daedra. They linger about it. I love the fact that you go to this hot spot here, so there is going to be a bunch of free items that you're going to be able to pick up on. Also, you're going to have that circle advantage. It's right there. So you don't got to worry too much. You can continue to focus on looting. High ground has been lost, though. Miz needs to be careful. Where's Daedra at? He's going to be right next to him, trying to get these angles.
So they have to do. They have to stick together. Looking for the sound cues right here. Can they find their opponent? Catch a nice little low ground peek right here. Low ground is definitely underrated. If you can just kind of peek out, catch a big shot, you're almost guaranteed a headshot, which is a big multiplier.
Yeah, players don't really think about that, right? Like you always see Fortnite players go after the high ground. That's the bread and butter for a lot of players that play this game. But you know better than most that the low ground can pay dividends for you if you know how to take advantage of that positioning, and maybe some overzealous players to try and get aggressive on you. You got Gustavo along with Wishy.
I'm actually very interested to see if Gustavo's going to lead this push here, because specifically between these two players right here, this duo, this Brazilian duo, Gustavo doesn't necessarily lead the pushes. It's Wishy. Wishy's the aggressive one here. So he has the ultimate high. He's always looking for the shot. What are they going to do? It's just a nice standoff.
Yeah, and that's this whole event, right? Players have just been very cautious about what they want to do. They are not trying to get too aggressive in these fights. They know what's on the line here. Millions in prizing is on the line. You do not want to make a bad decision. Be one of those teams that are eliminated out early on. But Gustavo's going to be putting shots down. Focusing this player, forcing him to actually build up. He has no builds to work with as well. 19 HP remaining, and just a hope and a prayer, but unfortunately for him, that was not going to be enough there. Gustavo's out. Wishy isn't going to happen for him either. And Miz, he's feeling it. That's going to be 2 elims for this duo.
You gotta love the snarky little smirk right there on his face when you get those 2 points.
Smirky.
Feels so good.
It's really good. It feels really good. And then Volks and Parpy. And look at this. Parpy actually dealing with this battle. And this other player that actually got the high ground against him was focus firing on Volks. Parpy pushing back here. I wonder, you get split up like this, but Volks and Parpy, they love playing a very aggressive style. They'll get in your face. They'll box you out if they need to.
Yeah, without a doubt, this duo was unmatched when it came down to eliminations in the qualifying rounds. They had the most, actually, and even pulled off a consecutive 5 victories in 8 games to qualify for one of the weekends. Volks and Parpy, another kind of reference to Game 1. They had a great Game 1. We saw them picking up duos, but we haven't seen them necessarily make it through to endgame. All they have to do is kind of slow it down here, and that's what they're trying to do, but being split up is terrible.
Also, in the distance, I just want to make note, Wolfie's a very aggro controller player. He's another one. I think that we've seen a fun mixture of players that look to get that safe approach to the game, and then others that just want to take early fights, get some points early on, because maybe they're playing that early game strategy rather than like focusing so hard. Like if you get late game, that's great, but you do want to rack up a few eliminations. Look how low the points are that have been thus far in games 1 and 2. Get yourself a few elims and then maybe manage to make it to that top 15, which is very hard given how many players have stayed alive in this game. Games 1 and 2, we were at what, circle 5? Circle 5, I think. We were sitting at like 45, 46 players who are just waiting for movement.
Yeah, and that's where that storm surge kicks in, right? Does damage to players. That's dealing back. But Crew and Chapels, one of my picks to watch, have sort of been struggling in the format so far. I guess when the real pressure's on, the environment shifts, right? Everything changes.
That's right. Everything changes here, and Crew does manage to get that shot off, or attempted to, with that tactical shotgun. It was not going to get the connection necessary there, but it did put the fear in the player to have to back away. Both players, well, respecting the space from one another. The stinkers come out. Crew and Chapix having to get out of there, and they're going to use those, I believe, the shockwave nades to just fly on out of there. Didn't see the purple over their bodies there, but they were able to fly on out of that fight. Could have gotten real risky for them.
I was going to say, that was a respectful disengage. You only got 6 games here, 2 of which have happened.
Yeah, that's
they
right.
need big performances. They have to push towards placement and endgame. So good on them to kind of back up. And when you have stinkers, there's no defense against it. You get chunked down right through your builds. It really is annoying to go against. And speaking about the stinkers here, Epic Whale's under pressure right now, and that's just going to chunk him down. They force him off of the campfire, and we'll see if he returns to it. Yep, here you go.
Yeah, you're only going to get so much time with that campfire. Epic Whale, along with 40R Storm. This is a Week 10 qualified duo. Last moment you could possibly have it happen, and they managed to pull it off. Maybe this could be the game for them. Another dominating duo in the scene, Airwalks and Nikov. Airwalks winning the Pro-Am yesterday 2 times now. This is a whole new ball game. Best players in the world in this lobby. It's not going to be a cakewalk, and he knows that. It hasn't been the best run thus far for Airwalks and Nikov.
Yeah, and it was their last final games there. Notice the text right there. The fast track, Airwalks and Nikov qualified for the Fortnite World Cup in their final 7 games. That's intense. They were struggling so close on the cusp every single weekend, so close to qualifying. If it was 5 placements, they were 6 or so like that. It was that close for them. But jumping in here, Crew is going to put some pressure down, and it looks like his teammate has been traded out as well. He's already gone.
Also going to see some eliminations over in the feed as well. You got Crew who just cleaned up on Volks, but Septic took out X-Mend. And then I think I saw XXM pop up there on the receiving end of a shot there, so we'll be out of the action as well. Crew by himself has one elimination. Going to be looking to get as many points as possible. Now we're going to be sitting with 40 duos left alive. We're going into the next circle here in just a little bit. It's going to start to collapse. Salty Springs is going to be the point of interest for all of our players here. Got a lot of bodies that are going to be lingering outside. Some that are even as far out as Dusty Divot, like on the northern end of it, sticking around there. So maybe trying to get some last-minute loot, perhaps. We'll have to see.
Here is Parpy looking for that peak. Volks and Parpy always tend to stay together, but wait a second, that was a tricky little shockwave right there. He did try to sneak his way into the build. He takes the wall. What are you going to do with it? Crew still looking for the replacement here. He gets it on land, takes the wall. 184! Crew's excitement, you can feel it from here. That was a huge shot. With the new tactical shotgun, the legendary.
That's right. When you're feeling it, man. He went right for the fight. Ambitious, the young player there from Sweden, 15 years of age, man, and he's playing for millions of dollars. So many of these players, they're just young ones. We have a lot of young fans here in the arena today. Maybe next year this could be them. And then you got a few of the veterans. Zexro, Vinny, saw Nate Hill, as well as Funk Mongrel, Mitro, Aiden there in the corner of the screen. And back over to our Game 2 winners, Zexro and Vinny. No eliminations to their name thus far. I mentioned Wolfie's the aggro controller player. He went right for Nyx and just take him out on that one.
Yeah, I definitely want to see Wolfie hopefully catch some more highlights before the weekend's over. Touch base with him. He's a great kid, definitely enthusiastic about being here at the World Cup, and he feels totally prepared. He's ready to represent. He's one of the few controller players who actually qualify for this weekend. This is a big weekend for a lot of players, obviously, clearly. Here you have Cease and Elevate. They haven't found the rhythm.
They've been a little quiet, man. They won WSOE, a great duo that has had success in the past, but this has just not been their game so far. Got to get something to turn it around. The talent is certainly there. I think I saw someone on the Fortnite competitive Reddit mention, why is no one talking about Cease and Elevate? And I think it's just important to note that in order for us to talk about it, they got to start doing some things. And I think games 1 and 2 has not been their game.
Yeah, and I mean, we were there in the warm-up rounds. A lot of players were not necessarily revealing strategy, but whoa, that's a huge shot on Ziff right there as Mitro sends one flying down the field right there.
Sent him packing. Dear me. All right, so back into the action at hand. We're going to have 36 duos left in this. Notable names, obviously, Mega and Dubs. Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage. A lot of people in the crowd pop for Benji Fishy when he walked out, as well as Mr. Savage. For due reason, this is a stupendous duo. The double snipe combination from Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage.
Big shot right there. These double snipes, you gotta be careful. There's no standing still in a box here because you might eat one right there. They line up another.
Right.
Not quite successful that time around, but hey, all damage matters. Storm Surge, you want to be dealing damage. You cannot stay idle. There are no free passes at the World Cup.
Look what happened in Game 1, man. The Storm Surge claimed a lot of victims. You have to be engaging in fights. You cannot stay still. There's Fwexy and Letwick on the move. Nyrox right behind him. Cooler organization. Benji Fishy's going to be down. Just saw that one off on the side. Mr. Savage now having to deal with a player that had engaged on him. Going to get built above. He just needs to wait this one out here, but Benji does get cleaned up. Yeah, that was going to be Fwexy.
And that was such a sneaky ambush right there. He used the shadow bomb, pushed up. Notice Benji was kind of over-peeking, harassing players with that sniper. You cannot hold down scope right there. He ate a shotgun to the face, and that's why Benji goes down. And I love what Savage did here. He just went for high ground. He had to immediately get out of there and leave his duo behind. So what can Mr. Savage do? One of the best mechanical players here today. What can he do by himself?
It's not going to be easy. Not with a lobby like this. At this point in time, he's really just looking to play the keep away game. Maybe he can pick off a player with that heavy sniper, get an elimination for himself. They only have 1 point right now, and they're nowhere near getting the placement points currently.
he's still looking to harass some players. Puts pressure on them. Now you see that happen, half out circle. Only 2 duos are going to be inside of there. So everyone's going to have to start to move over to that east side. It's going to be a struggle for so many players. They're starting to make the moves right now. They want to try and gatekeep, prevent these players from getting inside.
This is a team we want to watch right now during this rotation. Mongrel and Nitro, they are masters at executing, especially when they have mobility like this to cut across the field. They are on the hunt right now, and there's no reason for them to rush. Once they spot out someone, they're gonna pounce. They're gonna jump on that target.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for you to make that mistake. And with the nerves at an all-time high here, players are certainly gonna make that error in judgment. Saw it happen in scrims when we were looking at players just getting warmed up. So much at stake here, but there's the launch pad. It's going to go out now. Need to be wary of just getting beamed in the sky. So many times you think that you're just going to be sailing away with no problem, not a care in the world, and then you just end up losing all of your shields, all of your HP, and then that's it. You're done.
I've seen it countless number of times. People tweet out, you know, you fly across, you get taken out the sky, but it's all about timing. Neither Nitro nor Mongrel were shot once on that rotation, and it was masterfully done right there. And whoa, it looks like they're tracking so beautifully. Catches someone trying to just kind of rotate on by in a shadow bomb, but that was not enough.
You were not safe from the shadows there, buddy. Another thing, too, was that when they were out of position for a brief moment, the way that they were able to just get back together, right? That patience with one another, the communication, you need to have it when you're getting down to these final moments. 25 duos are going to still be standing here. You got Calculator and Macwood. They're going to have that high ground up above. You shouldn't be comfortable just yet, because anything can happen here. Look at where that next circle is going to be going. Moves need to be made.
With that RPG, I mean, they can basically take high ground at any given moment that they want nor choose. Calculator looking around, already on 4 eliminations for Macwood. Macwood did say he's the fragger of the duo. We'll see if Calculator can keep up right now. I am just poking good fun because Calculator loves to talk a big game on the social medias.
He really does, man. He's a character without a doubt. But right now, there's no fun and games to be had. This is Game 3 of the Fortnite World Cup Finals. It's time to put up or shut up for a lot of these players.
And look at that, wasting no extra mats. They do not waste more than they have to.
This was earlier on. An elimination onto Mongrel and Nitro. There you have it. Out of the game once again. That duo, European powerhouse, gonna pay there to Dubs and Mega.
So far, so good. Macwood, again, just holding this positioning right here. He is gonna get blocked out with his teammate accidentally, but it's all good. This is still his ground to control right now. They have clear control of the skies here.
And they have a ton of builds to work with as well, Monster. 4 eliminations for Macwood. A great game for him thus far. That's 4 points for this duo, but he's going to be taking some shots. Have to be careful there. There you can see the lay of the land, Monster.
Yes, the placement thresholds will be divvied out soon. There goes the Storm Surge already ringing down on players. Jay has to make a big move. Doesn't matter. Zate is going to wrap up right here as Keys goes down as well. And the shots are flying. And you can just look at the overhead, the chaos that's going on in the mid-ground specifically.
And look who's still in this, Saf. They're going to be in first place. If they keep this going, another dominant game for them, another high-placing game could be the difference maker to keep them in that first place position. Up on the high ground, Calculator and Macwood putting down shots yet again, not giving players any moment to be comfortable whatsoever. Look at the names that are here, though. The Rockets now starting to fly by Wolfies. Wolfies having to defend himself. Zate's going to be out of this one, so now it's going to be up to Saf. And Saf, he had to see his teammate go down, but his back's going to be to the Storm there. Now looking at Mega, who's waiting this one out. He knows on the right side of your screen, you can see it down low, that these players, they're going to try and force their way into his box, so he has to play defense. He has to disengage. And there's Saf, who just lost his teammate Safe. Now he's going to be running this one solo. And then up above, it's Macwood and Calculator. This whole time, they picked up 3 eliminations from that whole exchange, Monster.
That's exactly where you want to be. They're still putting this pressure down. And Zaf is looking for one, but it's Vinny who's going to take him out right there. So Vinny's going to find his first elimination, and he has so much health. He is in the game right now, although by himself because Zexro is down. And now Oslo, Bad Sniper, one of the few duos that are still left in this game right here. Arkham somehow, with a masterful rotation, he's still in as well. Bad Snipers at 11 eliminations with Oslo here.
Wow, unreal stuff. Bad Sniper is going to be out of this one. Macwood and Calculator still owning the high ground. On the mid, down below, Dubs and Mega, one of the premier duos here at the Fortnite World Cup Finals. Could they get the high ground and wrestle the control away from Calculator and Macwood? Oslo waiting for Vinny. You can see that engagement down low, but we got to focus on what's going on above here because Macwood and Calculator, they have their eyes on Dubs and Mega, and they do not want to give them that freedom to dictate where they want to go. They want to try and pinch them. Arkram just eliminated Vinny on that, and it's going to be Oslo and Arkram down low, but you're going to have a clash, a 2v2 in the high and in the mid ground, and Dubs and Mega feeling that pressure, needing to just dial back here, wait a minute, because I think what they're doing is they're just trying to see if they're going to run out of builds potentially. I mean, the play here certainly has just been defense, defense, defense.
Yes, that's right. Oslo's now left by himself. All he has to do is time this fighter fight, so long as he doesn't bother them. But Dubs and Mega try to go for the high ground and make a fatal error. They fall to the low here, Golden Boy.
This isn't looking good there. Mega and Dubs, they have the low ground, the ultimate low ground. Oslo's going to be outside, but they get the elimination. Calculator and Macwood, they're holding the high ground, and that's the victory royale. Macwood pops off in game 3. 7 eliminations for him, 2 for Calculator, 9 total, plus the victory royale. 19 points for that duo. Crushed it.
There was just something about the loadout. Seeing that RPG once they already were holding the best point, the high ground. You just knew pressure, and that's what Macwood did there. What was it, 7 eliminations? Hey, shout out to Calculator too. He got a couple at the end.
Yeah, he had his back. Most importantly, Dubs and Mega constantly playing that defense. Credit to Macwood and Calculator for the way that they continue to apply the pressure. And then it was the shock, sending them down low, forcing them into that engagement. Credit to Oslo.
To respect it, but Golden Boy, I want to see where we stand here.
Where are we right now? So at the top, it's still going to be Saf and Zate with 38 points. They have that victory royale from game 1 and 16 eliminations. Mega, Dubs, second place, looking pretty. No victory royales for them thus far. You saw Zexro and Vinny do the same thing, but it's Calculator and Macwood that jump up to 6th place. They have 22 points total, 12 eliminations in that game. They're finally in that top 10.
I want to take it one step further. Bad Sniper and Oslo jump up to 13 total eliminations. They didn't have anything up until this point. They just had one great pop-off game. And suddenly they're in the running here. It is anyone's game in the top 10 because you have to be consistent. And again, there's always those wild cards, those pop-off moments. And here's a look at page 2. Any of these guys are still in the running right now.
You got Bell and Scarlet, who've been wrestled out of the top 10. The Japanese duo who had a premier game in game number 1. Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage saw their demise earlier on. They're going to have 13 points there. Really going to start to get a lot in the pricing, but for the folks that are going to be sitting in top 10 right now, they're going to be feeling very nice about their current standings. For game 3 to be in 2nd place, Dubs and Mega, and then Saf and Zate still performing so well.
And that's the crazy part. Dubs and Mega, everyone has been rooting for them. They're like that wild card that came out of nowhere, and they really swept the competitive community hard lately.
Yeah, that's right. So I did get word. We have Jordan standing by with our winners from Game 3. Jordan, take it away.
NA really showing up and showing off today. It's amazing, seemingly tapping in that nail on the coffin. Such a please pardon the pun, I have to say, calculated game here from Calculator and Macwood. Guys, well matted, well utilized. You dominated high ground, seemingly all of that in-game there. Walk me through that process of getting that high ground, attaining, and then dominating for the rest of the game.
Well, we were able to pick up 2 lucky eliminations on that outer circle of 4th zone, I think it is, and we were able to use our mats to build up. We were lucky enough to get half and half, and we were able to just beam people out of the air, hold high, and got lucky with a couple zones.
Amazing. Well, I mean, again, you had 3 games left to go. The strategy, is it going to continue to shift around a little bit, or are you guys going to maintain what you've been working on thus far?
I didn't hear the question.
Strategy, maintaining thus far. You guys have a very calculated and very patient game, seemingly leading all the way up to the end of the end game. Right, walk me through your strategy for the end of the next 3 games.
Shoot them in the head.
Shoot them in the head. You heard it here first. Back to you, GV and Monster.
Calculator gets one opportunity to show the world his prowess and knowledge of Fortnite. He just says, shoot them in the head. You gotta respect it.
You know, some people, it's just that simple. And hey, man, maybe he's just wired that way, right? We're all wired a little differently. Calculator has clearly got his head on his shoulders, and he's ready to just shoot things.
Yeah, but Macwood was the one doing a bulk of the shooting in that last game. 7 eliminations for Macwood. He looked so great, and you would expect the young Calculator to be the one that leads the charge on slaying, but Macwood, man, holding it down. And let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I mean, you know, Macwood, not that much older, right? But I think it's just important to note that you have to have teammates at any point in time to just pop off. Like, you need that. It's so necessary. Got to trust in your teammate. That's what makes a lot of these duos so successful.
Yes, I mean, we've seen it from the start of every round. Some teams are just more aggressive than others, and they know how to stick together.
A lot of great moments in that game, and good news for us is that we got Sundown standing by to break it all down. Sundown, over to you.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy and Monster. Now, we talked about Safe and Zat. We just got to talk with Macwood and Calculator. But Dubs and Mega had an incredible game from the early into the mid that they transitioned into a top 2 performance. So let's dive right on in and see what allowed to make them into the top 3. First, notice their elims in the bottom corner, but the rifle fire together. The second they see the shield is down, able to pick up 1. Mega is the one who is leading the charge here. He picks up all 4 of their first elims. You can see Waller plays down, and the trap is so intelligent. Double ticks going through, places the ramp so it's phased. Knowing the yellow is there, pushes in 2 more elims, chug splashes. Dubs stays up with just barely enough HP, and you can see he's trying to trap the floor every single time. Gets the mid-ground control. 5th elim for Mega. We talked about how high their ceiling was, unfortunately using the shockwave to go down and end up at a low ground disadvantage. Calculator and Macwood able to ride it out, but now Mega and Dubs have pushed into that top 3, challenging to be the first ever World Championship duo. The team who has possibly the highest ceiling, full qualified solos and duos. The question is, in the last half, the last 3 games, will they be able to keep it up? Will NA stay on top? Will Serpent and Hype represent Oceania and upset the apple cart? I'm about ready to see some hype myself. Let's throw it back inside for the last 3 games. Gentlemen, take it away.
Well, if you want hype, got you covered, baby, because these games have been incredible. And if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome to the Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. We're in the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Game 3 just concluded. We had 3 different winners across 3 different games. This is our duos competition. These players are playing for a lot of money in prizing. So much on the line here. Lives will change forever after today for those players that are on the stage and some of the folks you're seeing on your screen right now in, well, I would say in a different situations than they would find themselves in. You got Vinny and Zexro, they're right there. Zayt and Sap, 3 games in, still holding on to first place. It has been wild stuff. Welcome, I'm Golden Boy alongside.
Алло, чё?
Могу играть, если ты World Cup смотришь?
Я World Cup смотрю. Чисто трансляция для World Cup.
Могу туда вместе смотреть?
Окей. Но я буду молчать.
Комментировать будем.
Ну ты комментируй, но я буду молчать. Я сейчас через 5 минут только приду.
Первое место 3 миллиона долларов. Второе место 2 200. 800, ё-моё. Ребята, 1150 место, 100 тысяч долларов. Вы там тоже могли побывать.
XL 25 долларов выиграл. Почему я обертку не получаю до сих пор? Где моя обертка?
Я в игрушку играю, Паша.
А?
Бургеры ломаю.
Он магаз. Конечно. Поздно я показал.
Вон они, если совсем джампсайт, и вот электрик.
Джампсайда вообще в начале убили. Видел?
У них
7.
3 раза их подряд убивают уже в этой локе. Да куда они уже улетят с этой локи? У них 3 раза подряд.
Они все падают в эту локу, да?
Угу. Так вот, летит на... О! Калькулятор. Вот обратные 3 команды взят на пышной пальмы. 4 даже команды взят.
Где ты это смотришь?
Только что показывали. Ну, типа кранчик. Вот на ленивой лагуне на корабле 4 челика. Скорее всего, будет файт. Один запивает. Да, один запился. Вот, это ФС. Это
да, это
ФС.
Это который на скобы всегда мутит.
Да, это почему-то мне качество говно стало.
Ну, даже Митром он играет в тильтах.
Я почему-то не удивлен.
Ну, я в принципе тоже.
Почему только... Да, скорее всего, будет файт Волс и Палпи. Смотри, он правда поменял одну...
Влад, ты за кого? Из русских. Ты за кого, Владик?
Я за джампсайда и совсем.
Да, конечно.
Вообще, они просто проигрывают, так что я за Летвика.
Да, я тоже за Летвика. Летвик на 20 месте. Летвик фиксим. Они же показывали недавно.
Да, я не вижу.
Ну, недавно, как 20 минут назад показывали. О, Кликс, это Кликс, который этот... Спешил. О, спешил.
Парки и Волк почти на... А, все, Опса на домашний жестко. Смотри, как у них вся игра плавно идет, а докажи. Их игра очень плавно идет. Они не делают лишних движений, как мы обычно с тобой делаем это.
Влад, ты за кого ответил? Мы же Летвика.
Джампсайд? Так вообще из-за Летвика. Летвик.
Да, а ты не кись за кого?
Даже не знаю за кого.
Я за тех, кто на первом месте. Вот, джампсайд и этот файтится.
Все, мы обратно джампсайд проиграл. Они
Почему?
джем ногу. Джем,
Да,
давай,
нахуй.
джем, пожалуйста. Джем, давай, джем, убивай, джем, убивай.
О, на котку.
Жестко причем.
Кстати,
Не урезали, ребят,
да,
нету резко.
Все, вынесли. Туда.
Я вас верю. Я же говорил только что, джампсайд качество.
А из-за рубежей, я думаю... Ну, этот Заут. Ты за кого?
Я за Exile. Вообще нет.
За Exile не играет. Exile играл в фигню. Он в творческом играл.
Вообще, мне кажется, за Манграля. За Манграля и Митро.
Манграль, Митро, ну... из кого я знаю, то Мангра или Митра, я думаю, что выиграют.
А,
Но они на 5-м месте, они на 5-м месте. Ну вообще я за Манграли топлю, не Митра.
Ну, Манграли,
Митра.
Митра, да, мне
А почему 6 игр, а не 10?
Ну посмотри, у Митра и Манграля 1 килл. У каждого по одному киллу.
Ну, плюс по поинту. А где их поинты смотреть? Ну, только в конце, да. Когда...
Даже я даже хочу сейчас зайду даже на сайт локапа.
А почему-то мне обертку не дали. Почему обертку не дали, интересно? Ну там типа и надо связать.
Он же не закончился еще.
Там никогда, там мгновенно дают. Вроде. Манграль. О, Манграль вообще в нубском скине играет.
Ну это же не он ставит их.
Твиз и этот Кинстар, они тут файтятся. Твиз и Кинстар встретились.
Так, в Мегамоле пацаны начинают файт.
Рональдо убивает этого XXM.
Мне вообще Рональдо не нравится в этой игре. Так, ребят, сейчас, если смогу сказать, в месте.
Из них в зоне там по 29 человек остается. Ты понимаешь, там какой интернет у них? Они же все в одном здании сидят, да? Ты представь, какой у них там интернет? У них там у каждого от 0 до 20 пинга.
У них 0 пинга. У них 0,10 пинга примерно так.
Ну да.
Crazy to think there's 89 players in the lobby and 48 duos, so a lot of disengages, a lot of solos out there right now. Keenstar and Hunter looking to defend themselves right now, and it's just a cat game right here, cat and mouse game. What are they going to do? They actually
ребят, Манграли Митра на 8-м месте, да, всего, на 8-м месте. Так, Фекси еще, Сэвидж на 18-м с командой. Летвик и Фекси на 21-м месте.
Лой здесь.
Смотри, на 8-м месте. На 8-м месте Манграль Митра, да? На 21-м Летвик Фекси. А вот Кип пока не нашел. Эйден и сын, ну, кстати, да? На 37-м месте. Так, кого еще знаю? Джемсайт. Они прям ровно на 50-м месте, Джемсайт и СК-7.
За 50 место 20 долларов, да? Или сколько?
Она, наверное, не прогрузилась.
За 20 место сколько? За 50 место сколько дают?
100 тысяч долларов вроде. А нет, сейчас они выйдут на большее место, потому что...
Они живут разве? Победа 10, топ-5.
Так, пока что в этой катке... У меня зависло фигня.
I don't know what world they're living in, but here it is. Swizz goes for the shockwave overhead, and it's Diros who eats a chunky one right there. Cover H looking to chop this bad boy down. In comes the Stickers. Is it going to be enough, though? The pressure is so real right here.
Swizz and Cover H doing it, not only for themselves, doing it for New Zealand, their families, and everyone watching them at home. And that is going to be one elimination through. I saw that one pop up. That's number 1 for this duo. The challenge comes in, and that's the
Я тебе сейчас ВК, короче, скину, это сайт, да, где там можно офигенно смотреть все.
У меня на стриме офигенно смотреть.
Ну ты, может, на стриме оставить это качество, а на телефоне это. У тебя будет прям лучше. Все, умерли. Смотри, минус 70. А джампсайд! Джампсайд из СК-7 еще куку убили. Джампсайд до покила.
Они твиза убили. Джамсайд и 7 когда Джамсайд это этот Джамал, а 77 это Артур. Да.
Знаешь, как Фейки зовут?
Фейки? Не помню.
Я не помню, я знаю, как Лесника зовут. Марк.
Да, Лесника Марк. Джамсайд, да.
Зайди на мое.
Что?
Я тебе скину ВК. Зайди на мое ВК, я тебе скину, там лучше.
Он столы бьет.
А, да, он сломал задний стол.
Он сломал задний стол на этом? На турнире? Он сломал стол на турнире?
Нет, не на турнире, я просто сломал на блокап. Ой, на турнире.
А, на турнире он просто сломал этот.
Не на турнире, как там?
Дома.
Я не живу, короче.
Как это? Буткемп.
Не дома,
Буткемп.
называется, где 4 человека там.
Буткемп.
Да, вот,
Буткемп.
I love it right there. He uses the stinkers to back him off, and since he doesn't take friendly damage from it, he pushes right into enemy territory here. He's so offensive. He's on the enemy track. He gets owned right there.
Not what you wanted to see happen after winning game number 3, but Elevate and Seize, we mentioned them before. They just need that moment to pop off so everyone here in New York can see what they're capable of. Such a great duo, but now having to deal with another fight. Elevate, what a shot there.
Я думаю, ты уже не его ловушка, думаю, все.
Я тоже. Рональдо приперся. Сайз. Нокнутый. Кто такой этот XXIF?
Я там мало игроков.
Я тоже. Джампсайд убивает кейс. Сверху в левом углу там написано, кто кого убивает.
А у меня... Да, мне не показало.
Ну, главное, что он убил. Видишь, Рональдо убивает Наварда.
Да, Рональдо. Обход Рональдо умер.
Such a good job, though. Good job by Zip here to clutch it back from his teammate right now. He is trying desperately to get to his teammate here. This is great teamwork. Now they have the pinch lined up. And the trap is down. That's a siphon for
Знаешь, сейчас просто будут пинг решать.
Zip doesn't have any shields. Needs to take a moment to just pop the minis.
A little bit of a reset here.
He's still in this too, so he didn't get knocked.
Качество почему-то говно.
Which is rough. You don't convert the Elam, you don't get the point either here.
Мне кто-то становится не надо лучше, надо хуже. Поймешь.
Campfire heals down players as well. This is actually really smart of them to sit on the campfire right now and just wait and buy time. Always looking to set up the phase through right there, trying to get through the build. Some shockwave comes out and close but no cigar.
Such an intense fight between these two.
Oh no, someone thirsted.
Snappy, he went for the shot from the distance. There you see him right there along with Red Rush. And then Zip down low on this island using not only the
исключи его. И закрой лобби. А я глава.
Да.
Так, я вроде лобби закрыл.
Now let's go ahead and take a look.
Убил. Никак не прыгаем. Джампсайд всех коробок.
Роналдо умер.
Да, его. У него тиммейт жив. А, нет, его убили.
Stompy and Shinken still in the game.
Эйден и
Monroe
Син.
and Mitro, Benji and Savage, Aqua. All of these duos, very powerhouse
вообще
duos
самый
here.
смешной.
Close by right now.
4 eliminations for Benji Fishy. 36 duos remaining.
Savage не в энерго
It's
уже.
going to be a loot late circle. So some water. Players will just have to build over. Nothing that these guys can't handle. Oh, a lot of open air though. Lots of open air.
Сейчас я посмотрю, кто на каком месте.
Benji's at 4 eliminations here.
He's been having a good game. They've been
Так,
playing well.
у СК-7 2 килла, Джамсайда 3 килла. У них 5 киллов, у Митро и Манграли 6 киллов в этой катке. В этой катке примерно Джамсайд на сайте эти скинул. Workup Fortnite.com. Я ВК скинул. Так, подожди-ка, Джамсайд уже походу поднялись.
Эйден и Эйден
В этой
закончился.
катке, походу, Летвик на очень большом месте. Далеко они вообще.
Мне не прогружается сайт.
В этой катке Джамсайд как раз... Место в 5, наверное, поднимет в этой катке Джамсайд и СК-7.
Манграли вообще пофиг, он какой.
Take a look at this stat right here. Damage dealt 840.
Боем по 15. Митро сколько лет?
Митро 16 или 17.
Митро 16 или 17. Манграли 14, да.
Манграли 16 или 15.
Манграли 14, ладно, что тупой?
Да? Я
Да.
думаю, лет 15.
Ему
Вот
14.
толстый, какой-то лет 15.
Он мир упитанный.
Ну да, в принципе. Так можно сказать.
Сколько он, КГ 80 весит, да?
Ну, килограмм 60, мне кажется, весит.
Я 70 вешу, 74. У меня метр.
Нормально ты весишь.
Фекси убили и Летвика.
44.
Манграль Фекси и Летвика убил. Сразу двоих забрал. Он двоих забрал или только Фекси?
Двоих.
А Фекси, значит, в этом был, да?
Фекси, походу, лоу хп был. Они, походу, лоу хп были. Либо поверили в себя.
Видел, как Летвик приносит Манграля. Чем смотрит? У него ВХ, слышь? Син и этот... Джемсайд 77 над Эйденом и Сином.
Так, я не вижу Джамсайда. А вон Джамсайд 37.
Я через 5 минут приду.
Storm surge in effect. Dubs and Mega once again. They're in second place in the leaderboards. 3 games have worked out very, very well for them.
And they can see that effect. You can see the storm surge around you.
51 players. Only one player needs to be eliminated, and that will be it.
Says, you know what? We balling. They out. They're going. They're trying to get that zone plan for placement right now. And do you blame them? Why not? They're in the lead right now. All they have to do is consistently skate through. They've gotten through the hardest part, the beginning. They're warmed up. As Mega is trying to fish around here and get a good spot in. Looks like they get themselves a little bit more real estate, but the pressure is in because the baller players come in.
Right in front of them, too. More defense having to be played here. It's kind of shades of Game 3 when they were in a similar spot, but this was from the high ground. This time, they'll be right in front of them. The action has cooled, though. They can take a moment to reset.
Definitely did cost a fair amount of metal right there.
Смотри, 50 человек еще осталось.
300 metals trying to inch his way to that fence nearby.
Сэм.
Just doing a little bit of a material swap right there. Back to Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy. with the minigun. The minigun's so good for pressure plays.
Spread out a few of those materials. Get ready for the potential movement. Snaking is what you would hear players often mention. They tunnel out, give themselves some coverage. You need a lot of materials for that. Then the artillery strike from up above, a new item that was added. You can build around and give yourself some defense, so really it's just waiting it out rather than having to move out of the blast area. 5 elims for Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy. 6 for Mitra and Mongrel. This has certainly been a dominant game for EU thus far.
Yeah, for sure. As Yuang takes out Rote right there, EU player is going to go down. Rote gets the trade out, though. Must have been the zone here as we are cutting across here. Mitra's trying to find some real estate here. Is he going to be able to set up? He's going for the high ground. A little bit of a build-up, but Mongrel's got it under control. He's got the high. Who's putting some pressure down? Yeah, he's getting the shot straight across here, Golden.
Yeah, there was a duo right on the other side there that Mitra was concerned about. So he goes low. Then, really, wherever you go, there are going to be players looking right at you. And sometimes you just manage to incur the wrath of the entire server. Luckily for Mitro, that did not happen quite yet. Sap, I just saw Sap get dropped. Zate's going to be separated from his teammate there across the side. And that is the circle creeping on forward. It's going to be open air, open space for them. So the ballers will have space to move around and try to survive here. This is it. It's coming down to the final moments, Monster, for a lot of these players. The pressure's on.
Yeah, Sap has already been taken out, so Zate is left to fend for himself here. Can he play for placement? We already know Mongrel Mitro were split up. Can they find themselves amongst the chaos here? Aqua and Nyrox are holding up the high ground here as well, and that's a scary duo. Way up top, uncontested.
Not someone that you want to have up above you. Mitro, 6 builds remaining. After this, doesn't really have much left to work with, and the builds go away pretty much instantly. Zate gets eliminated, so that's going to be the end of the duo that's currently in first place in the standings, but Mega and Dubs. Dubs is out as well. 4 eliminations for the duo, the bottom right of your screen. Mega very capable of being able to clutch this out by himself, but it will not be easy.
Yeah, Mongrel actually just slips into the low ground too right now, so he is trying to stay alive here. Jumps into someone's box. It's Voron who gets taken out right there by Mongrel, so he's still in the running. Mega goes up and gets traded as well. Vinny's still here too. So many solos remain right now, but there are still several duos in the game here, Golden.
And the scariest duo is going to be up above. It's Aqua and Nyrox. They're tarping this up, and they're putting down shots wherever they can. If they can get a few more eliminations, a few more points, that will jettison them up the leaderboards.
Elevate has 7 elims as well right now. He has 7 already. Rojo jumps out of the box.
From him.
Wolfie's still in the game.
Controller player. Talking to our boy Christian earlier, he mentioned he loves to get in the faces of players, and it has worked out for him thus far. Elevate is out of the game. 7 eliminations for him, 7 points, not bad at all, and you're going to get the placements to boot. Still, Aqua and Nyrox up above. Then you got Benji Fishy in the game. 5 eliminations for him, 6 total with Mr. Savage's 1. Oh, there's a player in front of him. He pops up in front of him. Oh, that's so scary there, but Benji Fishy is eliminated by Sky.
Sky has been around the competitive scene for a long time, and for good reason right there. Nyrox now owning from the high ground, putting that pressure down. A shockwave was initiated right there, but it's not going to be enough. This is their map to control right here in the final moments. They're the only duo standing, Golden Boy.
This is their game to win. The cooler duo. Is this going to happen? As they're putting the pressure on these players down low. They're synergized, they're communicating, and they're ready to pick up this victory royale in Game 4.
He only has 10 builds, though. This is very intense. Both
scary.
of them don't have much here. He's going to put all the splashes down. Is that the decision right there to commit? Looks like the shockwave is going to cause an eruption in the high ground, and now they're in the zone here. What's going to happen here? This is so close.
5 players remaining. Few left as the shockwave is going to send him all the way up. Nyrox takes out Falconer down low, and he's wrestling with everyone, but Nyrox is out. Oh no, he does manage to get the elimination, and in the storm, he gets the victory royale. 7 eliminations for the duo. A big, big win for Nyrox and Aqua.
Huge shockwave play in the final moments right there. It's going to propel him to the high ground and allow him to work top down. But not only that, it chucked everyone into the
Наш на
zone for a
25-м
couple
месте.
of seconds right there. So it truly was the ultimate disruption right there.
The shockwave at the end of the game will just change everything. The complexion of it all. And it's just everything that had happened right at the end here. Look at Nyrox. He just went down low. He wanted to get scrappy with him. He goes down. That's Sky and Chapix. And then it's Aqua who follows it up. Flew up right into the sky there.
That was actually
I also like looking at the player's face at these moments because the focus that he has. Ooh, man.
To hit your shots, you must hit your shots. Look at that. Stompy, Jinkin have talked about Aqua and Nyrox as players to look out for. They're scary competitors on the scene, and good to see them take a victory royale.
Yeah, in EU, right? So we've had 2 NA, 2 EU now. You know, getting a little scrappy out there.
Spicy.
I like to see it, right? Everyone's like, EU, where you at? NA, where you at, right? But hey, that is the game, right? You never know what you're gonna get. Saf and Zayt still hold on to first place, but it's only gonna be by 2 points. Dubs and Mega, they're looking for that victory royale. If they're able to get it, hey, they could find themselves in first. Vinny and Zexro in third place currently with 35 points, 5 shy of first place. Saf and Zayt have to hold on to their title as the kings of the mountain. And in that last game, they just could not put it together. These last few games for this duo is going to be critical given how close this gap is between all of the players in the top 10.
That's right, and take a look at your next page here. We saw plenty of Spades and Crims winning that Paradise Palms kind of early interaction, but one loss sets them way back to the second page now because you have to continue to accrue points here. But look, Epic Whale still here as well. There's a lot of players in the running.
Yeah. Wild stuff from game 4, excuse me, as we've had the EU duo, the cooler duo, managing to get their win on the world stage. I know that we're going to have Jordan in a little bit with the winners. He's getting everything together. I want to hear from these players, and good news is we are going to do just that. So let's send it on over to Jordan, who has our winners standing by.
A massive shift for EU here. We all know that shockwave grenades can absolutely shift the balance of in-game, especially allowing you to propel yourself up and work your way top down to dominate and control what was the most exciting final moments of in-game here today. What is your plan going into these next couple of games? There's a lot kind of hanging in the balance here, right? There's a big momentum shift for you, and you have the opportunity to kind of go any direction that you want. What's your plan?
Our plan is just to keep going what we're doing right now, just landing our spot and going for consistent placement points.
Consistent placement points, that's key and can absolutely take the Vic Roy home, as you saw just now. Back to you, GB and Monster.
Thank you so much, Jordan, for that one, and stay the course. No reason for you to adjust anything. If it worked out for you there, clearly you're doing something right, Monster.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these competitive players know best, and stubbornness is in their name. You saw Jamside, 7SSK say, hey, I don't care if I lose the first 3 times here. We're going to master this. We're going to turn it around. And they did. They had a great, at least, showing at some point at the last one. So players are going to stick to the guns.
Early engagements, man, that is just, I love seeing those fights with the gray weapons, right? You really can tell who can figure it out with not much to work with. That's always the challenge that players have to deal with in the beginning of a game like this. Now, I do understand we have Bala standing by to break it down and what we saw in Game 4. Bala?
Yeah, well, Aqua and Nyrox definitely showed up here today, and the resurgence of EU is maybe starting. We've got 2 more games to go, but I want to talk about Mongrel and Mitro and what they had to do in this game here. They actually ran into Zexro and Vinny. We're going to start off. GB, you were talking about early game engagements. This is one that's been going in the duo of Mongrel and Mitro's.
Владик, давай переводить. Что говоришь?
Смотри, наши. Как думаешь, наши были на 50-м месте, да?
Да.
А Летвик тогда уже был на 20 каком-то месте, да? Наш Джампсайт СК-7 на 28-м месте. Джампсайт СК-7 на 28-м месте, а Летвик и Фэктин на 27-м. Ты понимаешь, Джампсайт СК-7, да? Они поднялись за одну игру, как Так, Летвик и Фекси за все игры 4. Еще 2 игры будет. 6 игр, короче, всего, походу. Алло.
Что?
Короче, всего 6 игр, да, еще 2 игры будут играть.
Кого мы играли нового здесь? Да, мы играли Летвика и этого.
Я на сайте смотрю, там немножко задержка, но на сайте намного лучше качество. А, нет, Летвика и Фекси, тогда помнишь, когда ты сказал, что у всех Манграли убил Фекси и Летвика? Это не он убил только Фекси, Летвик, ой, Манграль. Фекси убил Сейн. Короче, Короче, да. Короче, кто с Густейдом играет, да. Да, вот он был Летвика.
Давай, смотри. Он говорит, типа, ты не выиграл, а я выиграл. Ха-ха-ха. Вот эти лошары все смотрят, как мы играем.
Ванес? А ты видел нарезку, как это... Базиль Зелона, короче, да? Зелон зашел. Ванес пьяный.
Что?
Короче, вчера к Ванес, к Вазиму, да, ну, Вилону, зашел Ванес пьяный. Нарезка вышла уже. Не, ну я, короче, смотрю вот на сайте, такой тебе скинул. Там намного лучше качество, я на нем смотрю. Давай вместе смотреть.
На сайте? Не, на сайте у меня телефон на зарядке. О, МРБС уже показали.
Пошли, когда пока эта фигня все идет. Творчески.
Окей, давай.
Ну, через 10, наверное, будет, так что у нас есть время. Блин, ну красавчики наши там, СНГ.
На каком они месте?
На 28-м.
А Летвик?
На 27-м.
Нормально.
А причем они подняли это все за одну игру, прикинь.
Угу.
Джамсайт. Джамал.
Вот эти заут, что это за зауты? Я их даже не знаю.
Ты помнишь, кто первый или второй топ-1 взял, да, короче, на катке? Это те, кто выиграл в СЛ.
Да.
Полностью первое место взяли, да. Это Джамсайт из К7 на 7-м вроде были, на 9-м месте были. Пошли, не понял. Так, у меня сейчас интернет, да, будет подлагивать, потому что у меня, наверное, родители на интернете.
Выключи. Я пока выключу этот.
Ну, я выключил это. Ну, я выключил. Блин, ну как же мне понравилась игра их. Надо было поднять эту эмоцию. Ну, пока отыграли хорошо.
Ты купил? Да. Сколько у тебя осталось еще баксов?
1000.
Не можешь? Подари мне что-нибудь.
А у меня нет баксов.
Ты сказал косарь. А у меня 0. Сколько тебе баксов?
Ну, сейчас 1000, тогда будет еще 200.
Сейчас мы покажем Манграля и Литры. Давай я, короче, Манграль, а ты козел.
А я джампсайт.
Ты даун.
Сколько последний?
Ой. У джампсайда и Митра и этого точно не сотка пинга. А, это и так была моя. Подожди, а почему в одной команде? Я могу твои стены передачить. Я могу твои стены передать.
Подожди, правда? Смотри, вот, попробуй.
У меня на стриме, посмотри, у меня редактировать можно. Я могу редактировать, смотри. На стриме посмотри.
Ну, ну попробуй отредачить.
Я не могу, я только... Смотри, я нажимаю редачить, у меня высвечивается.
А, я понял, да.
Бывает, да, баг. А, это тоже не моя.
У меня интернет, все, подожди. У меня жестко интернет лагает. У меня, походу, на интернете. У меня интернет!
У меня тоже есть интернет. Я не в каменном веке живу. У меня интернет.
Ну что с интернетом, ты понимаешь? 300-400 пинга, это мама на интернет не знает.
У меня интернет. Почему я на такой фигню смеюсь? У меня тоже есть интернет, и шо? Лади, давай свой коронный смех, хомячка.
Дурачок.
Не, ну мы, конечно...
Знаешь, у чем-то нитро намного выше.
В раз.
Чего? А как ты не забрал?
Ты ни разу не
потому
попал.
что пинг 400, да? То что пинг 400? А я знаю, что мама там на как месте.
А посмотри, какой у меня пинг сейчас. У меня на стриме 20 пинга. 22, 23.
Ты не в Питере случайно?
Возможно.
Да?
Нет.
А, нет, там твоя сестра же, да, пела этот фильм сегодня.
Еще месяц. Я на все лето здесь.
Ну, тебе повезло, конечно.
Не завтра уезжают. Ну, я, конечно, не рад.
Был бы у меня нормальный свой интернет. О,
Был бы у меня мой интернет.
ну можно выйти из интернета, а? Понимаешь, мне сейчас 400 пинга? Я знаю, что тут мама сидит. Стопудово.
У меня тоже есть мама, и что?
Стопудово мама сидит в интернете. Вот я в этом уверен, на 100%.
Ай, упал, ладно. Захилимся.
О, интернет, все. О, интернет. Таким интернетом тут выигрывать катки.
World Cup, да?
Вот капа.
У тебя минг... У тебя пинг -1.
Не, если пинг был бы 0, я радовался.
О, сколько ты мне дал?
180.
А, ну нормально, чё. У меня как раз 104 хп было. Ну, нормально. Шел по ему. Ну, я еще не размялся.
Ну, типа, даже можно сказать, это что не играл.
Не можно такое сказать. Подумаешь, 3 часа играл. Мне простительно, я сенсу менял.
Мне простительно, я медленно кло играю.
Когда реакция слишком заторможена. О! Просто посмотри на стриме, сколько раз по тебе попал. Мне просто настолько лагает. Кстати, что там по этому? А, там повтор.
Повтор идет.
Да. Ну, иди в жопу, в коробочку сидеть.
Мне почему нельзя убивать? У меня 80 хп. Ну и еще пинг 700.
Это уже лучше. Блин. Какой филм.
Не знаю, потому что рядом с я не вижу. Я не знаю, у меня пинг 700.
Пунк.
О! Не ровно 80, да?
Да. Ты тупой?
Нет, у меня просто пинг.
Ой, с первого раза. Размечтался. Ой, залетел. Улетел чисто так на расслабоне.
Блин, у меня 400 пинга, потому что у меня кто правильно сидит в интернете?
У меня, блин, пинг.
Блин, если бы у меня был бы стабильный 70 пинга, да, я был бы рад бы. Но знаю мой интернет. О, 28 голов. 24 голов. Да что бежишь, это ничего не кидать, понимаешь? Это 28.
Знаешь,
24.
у меня так лагает, как будто на этом. Я World Cup смотрю. Ай. Сколько я тебе дал? Сколько тебе хп? Честно.
80.
Я тебе 80 дал. Когда Владик говорит, то, что у него проблемы с интернетом и играет с человеком, у которого пинг, ну, постройки, у которого ставится через раз. Вот.
Не, у меня правда поднимается до 300 пинга.
Да у меня всегда такой был.
О, по тебе не пошел урон. Ну, либо я промазал.
Ты промазал.
А, да? Не попал. Вот это интернет! Можно выйти с интернетом? Сейчас, подожди.
Еще на маму наорет. Что он ничего не сделал. Скажи, что я его просто не убивал. Алло, я тебя не убивал.
Ну так, подожди.
Ну, улетел.
О, согласен, да?
Ну, типа того. Интересно, какой теперь максимальный давак? 120 золотой теперь получится?
34.
Давай попробуем.
Понятно, да, ее. Я тебя не видел.
200 IQ сейчас. Ты куда?
Я думаю, что я не упал. Ты ладно, застрял, постройки. Что по интернету? Можно выйти, мам, пожалуйста, вы уже выходить.
О, в смысле?
Постройка просто не знаю, сколько там задач есть.
Ты мне 24 дал. Да ты мощный. Мне кажется, нам в World Cup не интересно. Погнали от моря подальше. А то я уже в нем. Я падаю. Шучу. Да я шучу, не суть.
Я уже пошел тебя спасать.
Мне постройки не ставятся. Меня лагает очень сильно.
Блин, если бы ты сейчас был, играл бы сейчас как Емет Клоу, то бы мы, мне кажется, разносили бы все. Да, там потренироваться надо.
Я, блин, случайно. Я вообще офигел, как ты прошел через постройки.
Нет, ты не прошел, там
дверка была.
Ну, может, нет. А ну-ка давай. Я сборил в пол просто так.
Смотрите, сейчас на скол прилетит. Смотрите. Прилетел. О. Я думал, я уже убил.
Я тебе 22 дал в конце. Он не мог попасть. 120 и 22. Знала, что может так сделать.
А, не успел, мне там миллисекунда осталось.
И что?
На 80 все-таки дал, а ты мне 120. Да.
Ой, последний пришел скоро. Ой, больно.
24 дал, больно.
Это 80 хп осталось.
Не 80, 56. хп. 40 хп. Че ты стоишь?
Сам
А?
Сам разговариваю.
Хейтер, хейтер. Я ж тебя поймаю, ты что?
Подожди, мне надо солнце поднять. Это я вообще с ним не выпадаю.
Владик, на самом деле я играю в WoW. Ты же можешь посмотреть.
Сильно хватит.
Я не шучу. Ой, вот этого я не ожидал. Я думал, не сосредоточится.
А некоторые игроки думают, что наоборот.
О, вот это сейчас сработало. На, все-таки дал. Дэмэдж перед уходом. Не стреляла. Ай, 8 хп. А, ладно. Я пошел.
24 тебя уже какой раз.
Сколько тебе хп, честно?
83.
А, ну ты иди уже.
Сколько тебе?
24. Ты мне дал 24 опять. Ты мне 24 дал.
Я вообще не пока что делать. Я думаю, не буду говорить, что я тебе узнала. Не запутать что-то. Я думаю, ты летел...
80 у меня.
А, ты летел в мускерки.
Что ты меня лупить собрался? Понял. Ой. Оп, обманочка сработала? Сработала. Тоже еще нет. От кого ты застраиваешься?
О, брат, 24.
Ну.
120.
Ну, блин, меня лагает. И тебя по-любому лагает. Наверное, из-за этого турнира. Ну, вон меня
Вообще,
постройка.
Денис Лама сегодня показывал, что у меня обновление, наверное, да? Сегодня должно быть обновление. А у него не было. За турика, наверное. Очень много слушать.
Много? Сколько ты мне дал?
Ну, вроде 88, 20.
Нет, ты мне 80 только дал. Ой, обязательно лагать не буду. О, 6 хп у кого-то, а у меня 10.
Вообще побольше. не можешь. Я так не ожидал. У меня было 24 хп.
У меня 10. Теперь у меня 200. За каждые 2 килла дают по 100 хп. Да, как ты мне 200 выдал?
Я вниз упал.
На, не хедшот 80, а хедшот 73. Видите, 68 в голову даю. Я сказал, ты что-то сделали, зачем только?
Можно говорить?
Зачем ты ему... Если что, я снизу.
Него не зашел, да?
Не попал. Ты меня рисуешь, то я тебя. Ой, пролагало что-то у меня.
А подожди, там турик же точно идет.
Точняк, подожди.
Я сейчас не вижу. Да, уже идет.
Да, вайт-зона. Ну, не вайт-зона, правда.
These players know exactly where they are, and that's what they're going to do. Already 4 eliminations between 4ZR.
У них 4 ПТСа всего. У челика. Ну там у челика какого-то 4 ПТС, за которым все смотрит. Разраба.
Lo and behold, they qualify for the World Cup, so here they are. They have to spend a lot of time together, and it's amazing to say that because the cohesion between those two all the time, when you watch them, they're for each other's game at times.
О, фух, я думал, ты не скрики убьешь. У меня, кстати, есть такой скин, за которым мы сейчас с челиком смотрим. У меня есть тот скин, за которым челиком сейчас смотрим.
Attacks from multiple sides, ball in the box. You have a number of players know how that feels, so the action does get you.
You see where all these players stacked up, rokied up with the blue team, taking over that main block right now.
Оружие-то найду?
See 2 players left. Zane, remember, by himself. Safdie did cut down earlier on, and it looks like Vinny also maybe Zexro dropped earlier on in this game.
Ой, как будто справа кто-то стреляет, да? Хорошо, когда у твоего соперника такой же финиш, как и у тебя.
This is the biggest one. Do you think they're going to be able to capitalize on that and take advantage of the run? Or is it going to be the best?
I can't even speak to this. I mean, yeah, sure. Ninja, well, basically everyone yesterday top 8, and that was incredible.
Channel plays us both winning and wake.
But as we take a look at this again, I actually forget what I was going for this just because I was complimenting myself so much, but Nate Hill and Funkbob, two players who had a very quiet day so far, 4 points in this game. They matched that in this one alone, so they're at 8 overall, and well, that's that moment we're talking about. The shield broken the entire line. Are the players who do that, and Hill is burning through material. This is looking like it's going to end right here for this phase clan duo. Nate, try to make it through. Just a frantic flip.
120. У тебя сколько хп? У тебя сейчас 30 хп. Ты где?
Players that were originally taking shots.
Star and Hunter wind up finishing off that elimination. Help of Serpent from the crew. So embedded in the middle of a most enemies are now gone. Looking at the minimap right now. This is a pretty central zone where everything's remaining. So players on the outside will move into all areas. This is pushing forward. Here are Mitro and Mongrel. A quiet game so far. 0 eliminations up to this point. The question remains, will EU climb up into the top 3? They're just on the outside right now. The NA home turf. You know, thousands of out there rooting for duos like Mongrel and Mitro. Caught up, and unfortunately, when I mentioned EU duos, I just saw bench go down to the level of Arkram and Falconer. As the team also
Ладно, пошли играть на турнир.
Во что играть?
Турнир смотреть.
Надо ливать тогда, да?
Да, ливай.
О, не знаю, что дали. Владик.
Да.
О, почему я не могу смотреть? смотреть.
Нажми на L2. Ой, на R2.
Я не могу.
Туда смотри.
Там тоже.
Понимаешь, что сейчас у Манграля и у Митра, да, у одного 20 килов, у одного 30 килов, да, ну за все время. 20 и 30 килов. Ну по ссылке, какой я тебе скинул, посмотри.
Ну у меня для стрима.
Да там никто ничего не смотрит, все. Наш топ-1 как-то взяли, прикинь? Ты знаешь, что наш топ-1 взяли как-то? Как, я не знаю. Виктор Рояль 1.
Готовься.
Я не пойду играть, я буду смотреть только.
Окей, я сейчас приду.